little bit later. Bob O'Donnell, the new president, and Sue Horton, the general manager, also going to be on with us today. Speaking of Kelly Nicholson, and last year, for the first time in a long time, the Firebirds did not make the playoffs. What do you think they're going to do differently this year? Because you got to know Kelly's got that itch. He's got something else that he's going to bring to the table this season.
You talk about that itch. I mean, Kelly, California cool, we like to call him, a little laid back like you, from San Diego. But, no, Kelly's a competitor, man. He's fierce every single game in, game out. He wants to win. A lot of the players here, some of the guys that aren't from maybe the high D1 type of caliber players, they want to win too. And I think Kelly's kind of like the locker room guy, like a Bill Belichick guy. The inside is very, sometimes quiet on the outside. A lot of people. Some people you see him as very loud. Just depends, where you see him. But he's a guy that in the locker room, he fires people up, and I think that's what. When we talk about the itch, he wants the itch. He's going to fire people up. I think Kelly's really wanted this season and this opening day to come sooner rather than later.
You're firing me up right now. We got the music on in the background. It's opening day, everybody. Thomas Cinzarella, silky smooth voice. You can hear him on our YouTube live broadcast. Bob O'Donnell coming up right after this.
Hey, my name's Donovan Benoit. I'm a right-handed pitcher from Santa Fe Community College, and you're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Birds Broadcast Network opening day pregame show. Scotty Gange alongside the brand new president of the Orleans Firebirds, Bob O'Donnell. Bob, congratulations. Happy opening day to you.
Thanks. We're looking forward to this opening day. As I've been saying, that when we turned off the lights last August, we started planning for this year, and we had a very exciting winter. Planning how do we improve the field and improve the fan experience.
That's an understatement, Bob.
Yeah.
Improving the fan experience in the field. I mean, you got the brand new statue right in front of us in the catch. We're going to touch on that a little later. But behind us, the brand new scoreboard, state of the art. Tell me about the process of putting that all together. I know you're a big responsibility on that.
We set up a committee back last September, interviewing many folks who sell back scoreboards. And we put together a list of our needs and what we thought our fans would really, enjoy. We added the speed gun to it, which we think is going to be exciting for a lot of folks.
You've got some netting around all the place too.
A lot of safety netting around the field. But the big thing about the scoreboard is that, believe me, we've lived through 4 or 5 years of the scoreboard just not working certain nights. Very temperamental scoreboard. So now we have a
monkey's off the back there.
State-of-the-art scoreboard. All electronic, no more wires running to make sure the plugs are all in. Just strictly an all electronic scoreboard, and it's visually it's really attractive.
State-of-the-art scoreboard. Earlier we were talking, you said it's a state-of-the-art executive committee, which has made your transition from vice president to president seamless.
Correct. We just have a great executive committee. I mean, I can't speak enough of it. As I've said to everyone, anyone, any night could step in and do what I'm doing, and we wouldn't lose a stroke. But the catch statue that we got came as a surprise to us, totally out of the blue, and it's just so appropriate that it's here. I mean, it's the catch. I mean, every little kid who's ever put on a baseball glove has always dreamed of, quote, running back and catching that ball.
Right.
Leaning, making that jump. And the sculpture, Gwen Marcus, she just captured that so perfectly. You can do a 360 around that statue, and you can see that kid's face, just looking for the ball at each point. And the way we look at it is that we think the kid eventually caught the ball,
right,
if you look at it. But it's just...
I know the interpretation is the ball's teetering just on top of the glove. It's up to your own imagination, but it is really beautiful. Later in the show, we're going to get a full 360 degree, like what you said. We're going to get a full 360 look at it here at Eldridge Park. It's just fantastic.
But it's a perfect environment for it. Where could be a better place than a school and a great baseball field? I mean, it's perfect.
In your letter to the fans, the organization, and the annual Orleans Firebirds yearbook, you said that you want visitors to come to this park and feel the love and excitement for Cape Cod baseball and for the Orleans Firebirds baseball. What does that love and excitement personally mean to you?
Well, I love the game of baseball. I wish everyone here was on a first name basis. Is my feeling. I just want everyone to feel the warmth that's here, and how it's just a very simple field. There's no stands. You just put your blanket down, you put your lawn chair down, and you just enjoy it. You have a little snack. The kids run around chasing balls on the hill. I mean, what could be more pleasant than just an environment like this?
Can't think of anything better, Bob.
Nothing
Opening
better.
day here on the hill.
Better.
Birdman Bob, thanks so much. Really appreciate your time. Yes, sir.
My name is Zach Daniels. I play outfield, and a fun fact about me is I like Legos.
Eldridge Park's newest addition is, of course, the scoreboard right behind me, but there's another addition to the park that you have to check out if you're here in Orleans. The Catch. Created by nationally recognized sculptor Gwen Marcus, Catch is a depiction of a young fan going for a foul ball. Now, you may notice the ball teetering just on top of their glove, as this is, of course, on purpose for the viewer to use their imagination on whether or not they make the grab. But regardless, they're trying their very best. The uniform details were actually modeled after those worn in the 1976 movie The Bad News Bears, with incredible details on the shoelaces, buttons, and the eyes, and more. Marcus acknowledged that she wanted this piece to be elevating and inspiring to the human spirit. The Catch was funded anonymously by a generous Firebirds fan, and so the next time you find yourself at Eldridge, take a moment to check out this beautiful piece of work literally in our own backyard. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Birds Broadcasting Network pregame show. Scotty Gange alongside field manager Kelly Nicholson. Kelly, first off, happy opening day to you.
Thank you, Scotty.
Of course, you're 15 as the field manager. Congratulations on that. How are we feeling getting into the first game of the season tonight?
I think we feel good. We had 3 really good days of workouts, and these guys are ready to play games. So I think everybody's excited to play somebody else, instead of getting out there and practicing one more day. So yeah, we have everything put in and got our pitching lined up, and got actually 2 guys on the bench, so we're ready to go. We're ready to go.
You say that obviously a slim number with lots of guys that are going to come here still playing their college ball, but it's interesting to me in the process of recruiting players and getting them onto the team. How was that for you this offseason?
It's a challenge. It's the biggest challenge that I face doing this job, because you're going to, you battle guys that are going to get shut down because of innings. You battle guys because of injury. You're going to lose guys to Team USA, so
right.
You just have to do a good job of secondary recruiting. And it seems like our numbers are pretty good, and guys that are leaving, we have guys coming in, so I think it's going to work out okay, at least knock on wood.
We got Adam Seminaris on the mound. What have you seen from him in just the last few days?
Well, he's a left-handed strike thrower. I saw him on TV. I saw him throw against Cal State Fullerton maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, whatever weekend that was, and hey, he would probably be, I don't think he's a crafty lefty. It's probably going to be 86 to 89 with a good changeup. He should pound the zone, and he's going to get 75 pitches tonight, or 5 innings, whichever comes first. 65 to 75 pitches.
Something fun this year, a brand new addition, is we're going to be able to see how hard he's throwing the ball on the brand new scoreboard out in left field. We've got a brand new statue, lots of upgrades to Eldridge Park. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah,
It's
the
fantastic.
field looks great, man.
Mm-hmm.
The field looks absolutely good. The new scoreboard's great, and the press box, and this thing, and you guys, and it kind of all starts at the top. We have a really good organization with Paige Thompson and did I pronounce that correctly? Paige Thompson and Bob O'Donnell and Sue Horton, and everybody in the organization just does a terrific job. I don't think you're going to have a better venue for opening day anywhere on the Cape.
Coach, you talk about teaching players to learn to play the game the right way, respecting the game. What does that really mean to you personally?
Well, what we want them to be able to do is when they eventually get to the major leagues, we want them to be professional in their behavior, and our kind of default guy is Derek Jeter. If you need to know how to act on a baseball diamond, just let your default be Derek Jeter, and you're going to be doing things right on and off the field.
You're 15 as the field manager. You're 19 with the Birds. Still feel like the first today?
Yeah, it's always exciting. I didn't sleep very well last night.
That's a good thing. You're too excited. It's like you're going to Disneyland.
Exactly. And I got here early. I was in the office about 7:30. There's always stuff to do, Scotty. So yeah, I'm excited to watch these guys play, man, and be with our new coaching staff and to see Bourne play, and it's fun, man. It's a great way to spend the summer on Cape Cod watching these guys play baseball.
Couldn't ask for a better day. I'm excited too, Coach. Thanks so much.
You bet. Thank you, Scotty.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'm Trevor Johnson. I play outfield, and this is the Birds Broadcasting Network.
This is Rob Emery, catcher for the Orleans Firebirds. Fun fact about me is I can finish a double cheeseburger in less than 30 seconds. You're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
Perhaps the busiest woman in this entire organization, Sue Horton, the general manager. First off, this is your 20th year as general manager. Congratulations.
I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Still standing.
Congratulations. Happy opening day to you. It's fantastic today.
Thank you. It is. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day for baseball. So we're really happy that the weather cooperated.
So I know everything in this organization is still hectic for you, lots of player movements, but at least the off season is over, right?
At least the off season is over. The long wait is over. We're not having any more meetings for a while. so we can just concentrate on these guys and having a good time and watching some great baseball.
How was that process for you in this off season and getting guys to this team and all that?
Well, luckily we have Kelly Nicholson who takes care of the bulk of things, and I just do the paperwork end, and we're just really blessed to have him because he always recruits some really great guys for us.
I know you and him have a really close relationship and just working together for the past 20 years, really.
Well, yeah, his first year was 2001, and then he took over as head guy in 2005 due to my groveling and begging, and he brought some people in that he wanted to have, and the rest is, it's all been terrific ever since.
So it's terrific to have him here, and also lots of new additions to this terrific park. Can you touch on some of those and what's been going on this offseason?
Well, yeah, a lot of things off-season. We got the new scoreboard. Stu Murray on our committee did a wonderful job picking out the good contractor and designer, and it looks really beautiful. Davis, one of our other volunteers, jack of all trades, and he fixed the bird's nest, so now everybody's got a great view. Tremendous amount of work, and thank heaven for him. We love people
a tremendous amount of work. We
love people who know how to do things like that, since most of us don't. And then we had the dugouts rehabbed. We painted and fixed a couple things there. New padding.
Yep.
New netting. We got some new netting for the turtle.
I think it's 5 feet higher on the netting around the field.
Yes, the new safety netting down the right field line is higher. So that gives us a little more level of comfort that somebody isn't going to take a foul ball. And
I have to think a lot of this is because we've got the biggest game of the season, the Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star Game. That's here this year.
That's right.
And that means a lot more work for you this year.
Yes, it does. A lot more work for a lot of people. We haven't done one since 2004. And I think we kind of forgot a little bit how much work it is. And it's different now. I mean, every year the Cape League gets a little more involved, a little more layers of things that you need to do and remember. But it's all good. I mean, it just keeps our status up where it needs to be. We need to be looking over our shoulder all the time because people are chasing us. So we need to stay as good as we can. But yeah, I think the All-Star Game is going to be fun. If we had a day like today, it really would be beautiful.
You couldn't ask for much better today.
Oh, this is great.
The last two times in recent memory was 1994 and 2004. The Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star Game was here.
Yes. And we also had the Silver Bullets here in 1996. That was a lot of fun. And then we had Team USA and Chinese Taipei in 2000, I think that was.
Eldridge Park is no stranger to big games.
No, exactly not. And luckily, and we did the World Junior Baseball Championships in 1995. I think it was. We had Cuba and Team USA here.
Amazing.
And that was a blast. That was really fun. So yeah, we're lucky that this is kind of a limitless park. We don't have stands. We just have a lot of space that people can spread out on the hill and around the outfield fences. So it's a really comfortable, nice place to watch a game. Not a bad seat in the house.
So if you could pick one thing for this season you're most excited for, what would you say?
Just watching these kids, watching them grow and develop and go back to school better ball players and getting to know all of them and enjoying the time we get to spend with them. Yeah, definitely.
Sue Horton, year 20. This is General Manager Sue. Thanks so much for joining us in. Happy opening day.
Thank you, Scotty. Welcome to you. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
My name is Max Troiani. But his last start, the best of the season. A complete game shutout. Here's the one.
Firebirds fans, this face has got to be familiar to you because he is back for year 2 of being the Birds broadcaster. Please welcome in Josh White to the Birds Broadcasting Network pregame show. Josh, happy opening day, dude.
Happy opening day to you, man. It's a pleasure to be here. This is awesome, man. This is awesome.
So you're the expert in studio right now. You're going to kind of help us out, break down the Birds on the field today. Let's start with Adam Seminaris, the starting pitcher.
Yeah, starting pitcher at a Long Beach State, a southpaw who throws pretty hard. His last time out for Long Beach State, great game against Hawaii. Little more than almost a month ago now. 9-inning complete game shutout, 94 pitches. Fantastic. The end of the year. 15 1/3 of scoreless baseball. I'm sure Kelly Nicholson would love that today. I don't think we're going to get a complete 9 from Seminaris, but hey, you never know.
Defensively, let's talk offense. We got a lot of big bats in the Birds lineup. Break it down a few of them for us.
Yeah, obviously a lot of big bats on the way still with Super Regionals and Omaha to come. But a bunch of big bats in the lineup today, even starting at the top with a guy like Jordan Lala from Miami. Great school, if I may say so myself. And
the Hurricane
about
says this.
450, 460 at the top of the lineup. But Josh Zamora is a guy that I really like. Out in Nevada, hit 320. You look up and down this Orleans lineup today, you got guys hitting above 300, pretty much 2 through 6, maybe even 7. If I'm not mistaken, Kelly Nicholson recruited a great squad this year.
Got a lot of fun players to watch today on the Birds side, and for full season expectations, how are we feeling today?
You just never know.
Yeah.
It's Cape Cod Baseball League, man. 10 talented teams. You never know what temps. It's always going to be that guy you don't suspect to be the hero. That's the guy that's going to come through when you least suspect it. You know, you have the highlights of the summer, 4th of July against Chatham. You go to Fenway Park for Scouts Day. Then the Plebs get revving up. Hey, Scotty, it should be a fun summer.
I was about to say, his OBP's probably through the roof.
At the Birds here on the Birds Broadcasting Network.
And here's the 1-2 pitch. A fastball crushed out to right center field. The right fielder on the run. He makes the catch. That's Kokoska out in right. And there's two
Happy
away.
opening day to you. It's 2019. It's time for some Cape Cod League baseball here at Eldridge Park, home of the Orleans Firebirds and the 2019 CCBL All-Star Game. I'm your host, Scotty Gage, alongside Orleans Firebirds broadcaster, Mr. Thomas Cinzarella here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Thomas, happy opening day to you, man.
Well, it's finally here, and I've been winning it all winter long. You know, it's just willing.
He's had that itch.
To come
He's
back
had that
here.
itch.
Yeah, just come back to the Cape, you know, and it's finally here, and I cannot believe it because once the season starts, it just flies by. So you basically just, you know, every game, take it in, take everything in, take the crowded, take the game in because it's not going to last very long.
I know you're a big Cape guy. You've come here every summer. You've been with the Firebirds in years before, but now being the broadcaster, what are we expecting for this year?
Well, you know, I think Orleans is kind of a story tradition. You know, it's the Hill, obviously, where a lot of the fans sit. It's, you know, where I grew up. A lot of other, you know, interns and a lot of people that come here every single year always want to come back and get to the Hill and talk about the tradition. Guys like Nomar Garcia-Parra, Mark Teixeira. You know, the last time the Firebirds won a Cape League championship was 2005, and Kelly, he always has these talented rosters. So I think he's so far starting to collect a couple guys himself that can maybe try to pave a way for another championship here in Orleans.
You mentioned Kelly Nicholson. He'll be on the show a little bit later. Bob O'Donnell, the new president, and Sue Horton, the general manager, also going to be on with us today. Speaking of Kelly Nicholson, and last year, for the first time in a long time, the Firebirds did not make the playoffs. What do you think they're going to do differently this year? Because you got to know Kelly's got that itch. He's got something else that he's going to bring to the table this season.
You talk about that itch. I mean, Kelly, you know, California cool, we like to call him, a little laid back like you know, from San Diego. But no, Kelly's a competitor, man. He's fierce every single game, game in, game out.
So the Orleans Firebirds against the Bourne Braves in the Cape Cod Baseball League opener in 2019. And Adam Simoneris got the start for the Birds. He retired the Braves and order. And Orleans going to come up to this. We'll give you the Firebirds starting 9. Jordan Lala, the center fielder out of Miami, will lead things off. The second baseman, A.J. Lewis from Eastern Kentucky, will bat second. Eddie McCabe, who had a cup of coffee here in Orleans last summer, will bat third and play shortstop. Zach Kokoska in right field out of Kansas State will hit cleanup. Max Troiani, the DH, bats fifth. Josh Zamora, who made that last play to end the top half of the inning, will hit sixth. Rob Emery, the first baseman, will bat seventh. David Avitia, the catcher, will hit eighth. And Orleans, they saw
with Rakowski, the guys will come up from the other leagues, NECBL, Futures League, Val League, West Coast League. They'll come in and maybe get a audition or tryout in the last, you know, 1 or 2 games of the season, especially if a team is out of it. And if you perform as well as these two guys have, then you might get a nod back to come back to the Cape. And of course, Eddie McCabe, I know you were here for it, a very eventful last game of the season.
Hey, you go 2 for 4, driving a couple runs, have the first triple of the season on the last game. You're doing something right.
Stolen base as well. I mean, a little everything.
A little bit of everything. A lot of changes on this Orleans squad, and we'll get to that all season long. We'll touch on it tonight as well. And Jordan Lala, the freshman out of the University of Miami, will lead things off for the Firebirds. I'm almost tempted to say the Hurricanes sometimes, man. This is tough.
He's one of your guys.
He is. Lefty on lefty matchup to get things rolling. The first pitch. Fastball misses upstairs for ball 1. Lala, a true freshman this past year for the Hurricanes out of Tampa, Florida. Rutkowski's 1-0. A fastball slapped the other way but foul, and it's 1-1. And Lala's known for being a very patient hitter at the dish. 61 walks in 60 games in his rookie campaign. That set a Hurricanes freshman single-season record. Broke a record that stood for more than 40 years. 1-1. Fastball runs inside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, you mentioned he's a Hurricane. He's sporting the spikes right now as well, the Adidas white spikes with the green stripes.
He's got a blue bat. That's something you don't see every day.
I was about to say that too, you know. Don't know where I got that from, but.
It's now 3-1 to the Birds' leadoff man, Jordan Lala. He's a temporary guy at the current moment for Kelly Nicholson and Orleans. 3-1 pitch from Rutkowski, a fastball nub to the right side, backhanded by the second baseman Morissette. He'll throw to first base to get the speedy Lala, and there's one away.
It seems like might be some early jitters for maybe everybody first game on the Cape. The second baseman Morissette over there, a little bit of high throw, but Curtis just tall enough. Extend the glove up top, raising the foot, and able to make the grab while keeping the foot on the base.
And that will bring up the Birds' second baseman, A.J. Lewis, out of Eastern Kentucky. And Thomas, we didn't get a chance to ask A.J. before the game. First pitch home, fastball right down the chute for strike one. But he's listed as a catcher for this Orleans squad. Caught former Bird Aaron Oceanbine over at Eastern Kentucky. 0-1, fastball clubbed out to shallow left field. Left fielder ranging towards his left, center fielder Hess converging. Hess makes the call on the catch, and there's two away. But he's manning second base tonight with the Birds, a little short-handed at the moment.
Yeah, and that's what sometimes you're asked to do in the Cape. Remember Michael Bush, a perfect example out of UNC. You know, he's a guy that going to the draft too, didn't know where he was going to play, and Tom Holland, the manager for the Anglers, kind of put him all over the place. You know, he played a little first, a little second, a little right field. So kind of give some guys a little audition to the scouts and the fans out here, seeing how many positions they can play and how it might help their draft stock.
Eddie McCabe now the batter for Orleans. Shortstop out of Georgetown. The 0-1, a fastball that catches the inner half, and it's 0-2. McCabe again played one game for Orleans last summer. 2 for 4, triple, 2 RBIs in the final game of that 2018 season. The 0-2, fastball misses upstairs, and it's 1-2. And Eddie made a huge jump for his sophomore season. Batted .345 this past season for the Hoyas. First team All Big East selection. 1-2, fastball fought off back to the screen, and we'll do it again. So there's not too many familiar faces for this Orleans squad at the current moment. McCabe, a returner if you want to include that one game. Andrew Abbott, the lone other guy to make it back to Orleans in 2019.
It's almost like Kelly, clean slate.
1-2, fastball misses inside, and it's 2-2. And maybe that's by design, Thomas. We really don't know. Obviously, Kelly Nicholson, a proven winner here in the Cape Cod Baseball League, leads all active managers in win percentage during the regular season at .559. 2-2, fastball, some chin music up and in, and it's 3-2.
He's been here so long. I used to do the clinics here in Orleans, and Kelly was the manager, so that's how long going back, and I'm 20 years old, so.
Wow, you're old, man. No score here in the bottom of the first between Bourne and Orleans. The payoff pitch, fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. High heater from Rutkowski, got McCabe to fan through, and back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for both sides as Orleans and Bourne are scoreless after a complete inning of play here at Eldridge Park. Welcome back to Eldridge Park. Firebirds and Braves scoreless through an inning here in Orleans, Massachusetts. Adam Simoneris looked great for Orleans. He's going to be in a little bit of a pitch count tonight. 94 innings, I beg your pardon, at Cal State Long Beach. 1-2-3 frame. He's going to be capped at 5 innings or 70-ish pitches, whatever comes first, is what Kelly Nicholson said. First pitch to A.J. Curtis, squared foul up the first base side for strike 1.
That's a lot of guys you'll see here on the Cape. The college coaches don't want them pitching as many innings and all that, so they'll give the Cape coaches a pitch count or how many pitches they can throw or an inning count or inning limit.
The 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses up and away, and it's 1-1. Curtis, the first baseman out of Cal State Fullerton. California native, batted .318 this past season. Lefty on righty matchup, the 1-1. A fastball tattooed the other way, but out of play onto the hill. And it's 1-2. Not a bad crowd here for a June 10th evening. Far from perfect conditions. 63 degrees, cloudy, winds out of the southeast at about 7 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's always windy here in the Cape. Yeah, really close to the water, the ocean. So you'll see be a little gusty and a little wriggly wind out to straightaway.
The 1-2 fastball once again fought off by Curtis. And we'll do it again. Seminars great again in that top of the first to kick off the season. And you had made a point that, hey, maybe things kick off on the right note. It's a sign to come.
We'll have to see.
Southpaws ahead 1-2. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just nubbed up the first base line. It'll be a tough play for Orleans. Emery coming on. He applies the tag. And a heck of a play from Rob Emery. A natural catcher manning first base tonight for the Birds. Saw the slow roll up the first base line and applied the tag for the 3 unassisted.
That play by Emery is almost like a catcher type of play. You know, when a play at the plate and you have to tag, the guys be sliding in. As going up the line was Curtis, who's trying to avoid the tag, almost like, you know, trying to dodge out of the way, almost like a guy sliding into home trying to avoid a tag. So it almost looked very natural for Emery to tag Curtis while running down the line.
Now Shane Muntz will be the batter for the Bourne Braves. Muntz digs in from the right side. First pitch from Simoneris, a breaker that misses low for ball 1. No score here in the top of the second between Orleans and Bourne. Simoneris has retired the first 4 to start the season. Here's the 1-0. A fastball hit the other way down the right field line. Kokoska giving chase, and this ball dribbles fair and then foul onto the hill. So it will be a ground rule double for Shane Muntz. The first hit here at Eldridge Park in 2019, and a slicing ball that just trickled towards the hill.
Well, yeah, that's one of those, I guess, breaks that Bourne has found here in this second inning. You know, a ball again slicing away. The wind's blowing out towards that way as well, and just getting enough piece of wood on it was Muntz jumping on the fastball again. You know, falling behind the counter in the first pitch, throwing a ball with Simoneris. We said he was very effective in that first inning. And then the Muntz jumps on the fastball count and just slices one down the right field line. Generous enough to stay fair and get a hop into the crowd.
So now we'll see what Simoneris can do out of the stretch. First pitch to Cody Morissette. Fastball in there for strike 1.
Yeah, so far he's really spotting that fastball really well down at the knees. Especially, again, we mentioned, we keep bringing it up again, but first pitch strike's very critical here on the Cape.
He's had a first pitch strike against every hitter except for Muntz, who cracked a double the other way. Checks on Muntz at second base with 1 down. The 0-1, fastball in there for strike 2. You got another ACC guy. It's Muntz on second out of Wake Forest, and Cody Morissette from Boston College. Rising sophomore, originally from New Hampshire. This kid put together quite a rookie campaign. Third-team All-American by Collegiate Baseball newspaper. Simoneris set at the belt, the 0-2. A breaker waved at and missed strike 3. So Simoneris gets ahead of Morissette. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night with the curveball. And there's 2 down.
Yeah, off-speed pitch there, just absolute filth to a lefty. Again, lefty matchup. That pitch is going to keep moving outside, and having no chance was Morissette on that one.
So that will bring up Kyler Fedko out of Connecticut. A Pittsburgh native. Rising sophomore for the Huskies, trying to give the Bourne Braves an early lead here in the opening game of the 2019 season. Simoneris' first pitch home. Fastball misses low and outside for ball 1. No score between Orleans and Bourne with 2 away in the top of the second. Fedko, highly touted kid out of high school. Just things not too great his rookie campaign. Pennsylvania High School Player of the Year by 3 different publications. Simoneris checks on the runner, the 1-0. Fastball just chopped back to the mound. Simoneris comes off, He'll trot over to first, underhand flip, and the side is retired. So Adam Serenaris strong for Orleans to start this ball game off, as the Braves score no runs on one hit, no errors, and one runner left on base. We'll do a short break. Orleans and Bourne scoreless through an inning and a half. Listen to Birds Baseball on the Birds Baseball Broadcast Network. Orleans and Bourne scoreless as we head to the home half of the second here at Eldridge Park. Josh White alongside Thomas Zinzarella here for the Birds Broadcast Network. Zach Koska going to lead things off for Orleans, the right fielder out of Kansas State, facing Harry Rutkowski, the big southpaw from Rutgers University. Lefty on lefty matchup, the first pitch. Fastball in there for strike one. Kokoska, another temporary player, and for those of you who are watching Cape Cod baseball and listening for the first time, temporary players not necessarily guaranteed to be here the whole summer. 0-1, a ball that misses low, and it's 1-1, and you almost have to earn your spot, Thomas. There's obviously a lot of roster construction and shuffling that goes around. There's a deadline for when the rosters need to be set for the rest of the season. The 1-1 Kokoska lays off of the breaking ball, and it's 2-1.
And every year you always hear the stories of the guys that were temporary players early on, that guys who maybe thought of after, gave it a shot, and then they run with it and end up being with the team the whole summer.
2-1 pitch, a breaker that ties up Kokoska, and it's 2-2. Even think about last year for Orleans, Aaron Oceanbine, right-hander out of Eastern Kentucky. He was a temporary player, served as Orleans closer, led the Cape in strikeouts per 9. 2-2, fastball misses upstairs, and the count runs full. And things worked out for Osh. He went in the 6th round by the Los Angeles Dodgers just a couple days ago. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Kokoska in the pitch. Fastball in there, strike 3. Kokoska doesn't like the call. Rutkowski's got his second strikeout of the night, and there's one away.
Yeah, both pitchers so far really looking sharper in the early goings, showing no sign of weariness. Again, you know, baseball today, we always think of it being more of an offensive game, but the pitchers so far flexing their muscles in the first 2 or so innings.
First pitch to Max Troiani, a big hack and a miss from the big DH for strike 1. Rutkowski's retired the first 4 to his first outing of the summer. There's one away here in the second, the 0-1. A fastball that's sliced the other way and foul, and it's 0-2. Troiani, not from a powerhouse baseball school by any stretch of the imagination, coming from the D2 ranks, from Bentley, Pittsford, New York native. Slash 305 for Bentley. The 0-2, a line drive back into center field for a base hit. Troiani doesn't care where he goes to school. He's hanging with the big dogs, and he's got Orleans' first hit of the summer.
I always think of college baseball. There's not much that separates sometimes guys from D2 to D, or D1 to D2 to D3, and Troiani in that last swing, really, he was down 0-2 in the count, shortens up the swing, and pushes it right up the middle, back where it came from, past Rutkowski and into center field.
And now that will bring up Josh Zamora at the University of Nevada, Reno. First pitch home, fastball in there for strike 1. And this might be one of the most exciting players Orleans has this summer. Zamora, rising junior from Foothill Ranch, California. He batted .320 for Nevada this past year. Wide stance from the right side. 0-1, a breaker misses low. Nice stop behind the dish by Peter Burns out of Boston College, and it's 1-1. And when you look up and down this Orleans lineup tonight, at least, a lot of right-handed bats, just 2 lefties. That's in the 1 spot and the 4 hole with Lala and Kakaska. Aggressive lead for Troiani at first base. He's not going. 1-1, a breaker. Throw down from Burns on the back pick attempt, not in time. And it's 2-1 the count.
Yeah, good effort there by Burns on Troiani's secondary. A little bit too far down there, and Burns just checking down on Troiani at first base.
A lot of guys in this Orleans lineup can run tonight. Troiani, a perfect 17 for 17. 2-1, a fastball misses upstairs. But it's waved at by Zamora, and it's 2-2. And this is an adjustment for a lot of kids. This is the furthest east Josh Zamora has ever been, he told us yesterday here at Eldridge Park. Second team, all Mountain West Conference. 2-2. Fastball that's hit the other way and runs on to the famous hill here at Eldridge, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, Zamora's a guy, if you look at his numbers, he just flat out rakes. You know, we mentioned the .320 average this year. It was the Mountain West Freshman of the Year, hit .427 in conference play his freshman season.
It's pretty good. Not too bad.
We always think of .406 with Ted Williams.
2-2 pitch. Misses upstairs, and the count runs full. It's 1 away here in the bottom of the second. Max Troiani on at first base in a scoreless ball game. And Troiani 17 for 17 in stolen base attempts at Bentley this past season. Let's see if Orleans gives him the green light. 3-2, not going. Fastball crushed deep left field. Left fielder Rivoli looks back, and this ball is long gone. Josh Zamora kicks off the season with a bang for Orleans. A towering shot over the left field fence, and it's Orleans a 2-0 lead here in the second at Eldridge Park.
Well, Zamora really working the count against Rutkowski. Just gets enough just to put it over the 350 just left of that banner over there, and you could tell right off the bat he got the sweet spot connected and everything and disposed of that ball over by the Porta-John.
That ball traveling an estimated 347 feet off the bat of Josh Zamora, and it was absolutely clobbered. Had 8 home runs his sophomore season for Nevada and gets the Birds on the board early. First pitch to Rob Emery in there for strike 1.
That's how you start the season, with the bang for Zamora.
Emery's 0-1. Beg your pardon, 2 Emerys smoked through the left side for a base hit. Emery takes the turnaround from first. It's picked up by Rivoli and tossed back in. And what a moment for Rob Emery, who spent many summers here on the Cape, coming to Orleans Firebirds baseball games.
Yeah, I got to catch him for a game in Harwich last summer when I was broadcasting for them, and it was great to see him back on the Cape. You mentioned him coming to Orleans as a kid, and I know we had a kid from Sandwich last year, grew up in Sandwich, and what it means to come back to the Cape and play in this prestigious collegiate league.
David Avidia now the batter for the Birds. First pitch home to the catcher. Fastball misses upstairs for ball 1. Again, this Orleans squad, not too many position players in town just yet. You got the 9 in the lineup and just 2 off the bench. Little tough in the early going sometimes. Emery the lead off of first base, the 1-0. A fastball blown right past Avidia, and it's 1-1.
I know we've already offered our services to Kelly Nicholson and Casey.
Yeah, I don't think he wants us, Thomas.
You never know.
He must have seen me throw out the first pitch last summer. I threw a strike, without a doubt.
He did make a deal with me, said if I was good enough, he could give me a spot on here, but I don't think that was ever going to happen. But
1-1, runner going, breaking ball misses low, throw down from Burns, nails Emery at second base. It's a delayed steal from Rob Emery, and a great throw by Peter Burns out of Boston College, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, it looked like it was a pitch down the zone, so Burns kind of double clutched that one, but not sure if there was a miscommunication or something there. But yeah, Emery got a little late jump there.
The 2-1 to Ovidia misses low, and now it's 3 balls and 1 strike to the catcher out of Grand Canyon. And there's 3 different catchers in this Orleans lineup tonight. It's Ovidia, who I guess gets the lucky nod behind the dish. 3-1 pitch, fastball misses upstairs, ball 4. So Rutkowski issues his first walk of this summer. And the Birds a 2-out base runner, already with a 2-0 lead here in the second.
Again, another Firebirds hitter in Ovidia really working the count against Rutkowski. I'll have to try to bear down here and just try to get out of this inning without any more damage being done.
It's the 9-hole hitter Trevor Johnson. Lefty on righty matchup. First pitch home. A fastball squared back to the screen for strike 1. Thank you for joining us here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Opening night here for Orleans and Bourne and the rest of the Cape Cod Baseball League. A lot of fun in store for this entire 2019 summer. Ovidia aboard at first. The 0-1 foul down the right side, and it's 0-2. Trevor Johnson, one of the older guys on this Orleans squad, born in the later months of 1997. Yes, folks, these kids are starting to get younger every single day. The 0-2, breaker misses outside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Johnson, not the best summer, beg your pardon, not the best season at Dartmouth, just a .191 with the bat. Known more for his glove and quite the talented athlete. Top 500 overall prospect out of high school by perfect game.
Hill out there. I'm out in deep left field. It looks good from here. I got Josh Zamora's home run right on a beautiful, beautiful view from me. But we got to break down this brand new scoreboard. As you can see right here, one of the most notable things is the new pitch speed calculator, not only for scouts here looking for future MLB prospects, but also for all the fans on said hill. They can see how hard these guys are throwing the ball, and it just brings another element to the ball game. It's just absolutely fantastic. You can also see right behind me, we've got Braves, we've got Firebirds, just a brand new upgraded system. And I got to give you guys some history right here. Back in 1988, George Mitrovich, a San Diego civic leader, wrote to the Boston Globe. He said that Eldridge Park is a sylvan setting so transcendently beautiful, one's breath is swept away. That was in 1988, before this guy, before our new netting system, before everything that has been done in the past couple decades, and especially done in this offseason. Just fantastic out here. Sweeping my breath away, you guys. Back over to you.
Thanks, Scotty. We'll check in with you a little bit. That was our sideline reporter, Scotty Gange, telling us about the new scoreboard here at Eldridge Park. And Thomas, boy, does that thing look beautiful.
Oh, it sure does. It's definitely another piece to this gem of a ballpark. Of course, Chatham upgrading a little bit to theirs as well. So it always seems like something Chatham Orleans does, the other has to. Of course, Chatham Orleans going back to a rivalry, going back many years.
Separated by less than 10 miles.
Separate less than 10 miles, and they're always, growing up, always the two teams that were in the top of the East and always fighting it out for a division crown.
Kyle has to lead things off here for Bourne in the top of the third. Seminaris back out there for Orleans. First pitch, fastball hit the other way, right at the shortstop McCabe, who leaps to make the grab. 1 pitch and 1 out for Adam Seminaris, who looks sharp.
That's one way to be a fish, and just got it on the hands of Hess. Couldn't quite get out in front of it enough and just slices one right at McCabe. Makes a little bit of a leaping grab.
And for Seminaris, this is really how he finished his 2019 regular season, if you will, with Long Beach. First pitch to Peter Burns, fastball in there for strike 1. Last 15 1/3 for Seminaris at Long Beach did not allow an earned run. Helps when you throw 9 complete innings of shutout baseball. Lefty on lefty matchup, the 0-1 pitch. A fastball nub to the right side. Can be a tough play for the second baseman Lewis, who comes in. Sidearm throw, beats Burns by a step. That's now 4 retired in a row by Seminaris after that by Muntz in the second.
Yeah, we mentioned about his last start of the season, but you just got to talk about how he looks so confident and poised right now on the mound for the Firebirds. Just really dealing at this point in the third inning, and we'll have to see how he faces now Yaki in this top of the order once again, see if they can learn anything from the first time around.
First pitch to Yaki, cut on and missed, and it's 0-1. And Yaki, a strikeout victim his first time up, went down swinging. One of 2 strikeouts for Adam Seminaris that first time around the order. Retired 8 of the first 9 he's faced. 0-1, a fastball that's tipped into the glove of the catcher Avidia, and it's 0-2. Kelly Nicholson said, Adam Simoneris, he's a strike thrower, and he has done that so far tonight. Just pounding the strike zone, a fastball that's sitting in the upper 80s. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball runs outside, and it's 1-2. Yaki out of Gonzaga, a Washington native. Two-time All-West Coast Conference second-team honoree, both his freshman and sophomore year. 1-2, breaking ball that Yaki just gets a piece of, and we will do it again. It's a 2-0 Orleans lead with 2 down in the top of the 3rd inning. Josh Zamora the difference right now for the Birds, a 2-run shot that cleared the left field fence. Simoneris taking his time on the mound. The southpaw out of the windup, the 1-2. Breaking ball just chopped up the first base side and foul, and we will do it again.
Yeah, good job by Yaki just to get a piece of it again. Lefty-lefty matchup pitch, always moving away from him, and just watching it all the way in, just able to chop it foul.
A 1-2 from Simoneris, a breaker that runs outside. And it's 2-2. And again, he's going to be capped at 5 innings or 70-ish pitches, whatever comes first for the southpaw. 94 innings this season for Long Beach. 2-2. A breaker top, back to the mound. Simoneris comes on the 3rd base side. Strong throw to first in time. And the side is retired. One of the first 3 innings for Adam Simoneris. Retires 9 of the first 10, and the Birds are cooking early here at Eldridge Park. It's a 2-0 Orleans lead. Well to the home half of the 3rd. Listen to Birds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Orleans 2, Bourne nothing as we head to the bottom of the 3rd here at Eldridge Park. And Jordan Lala to bat for the 2nd time tonight. The Birds leadoff man out of the University of Miami. Harry Rutkowski back out there for the Braves. Lefty on lefty matchup. The first pitch, fastball taken in there for strike 1. Lala bounced out his first time up. Just a slow roller to the right side. But Jordan, a very patient hitter, drew that count to 3-1 his first time up. The 0-1 chases out a breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Lala, a .446 on base percentage as a true freshman in the ACC. The 0-2 pitch. A breaker misses upstairs, and it's 1-2. And he faced Harry Rutkowski when the Rutgers Scarlet Knights came down to Mark Field in Coral Gables. I don't think Rutkowski wants us to read those numbers. They were not too pretty. 1-2 pitch. A fastball just poked the other way to the left side. Xavier Warren scoots towards his left. He makes the pop-out grab, and there's 1 down.
That's always what's cool about the Cape is that you'll see a lot of these guys, you know, ACC, SEC guys, or even, you know, between different conferences will face each other in the college ranks, and then they'll make their way to, like, let's say any summer league, but the Cape, for example, where some of the best have faced off against each other, and it's always a battle. Every single batter is a battle.
First pitch to A.J. Lewis, grounded to the left side. Xavier Warren, the third baseman, busy in this frame. Throws to A.J. Curtis, and there's 2 down. Seems like we got a little bit of a pitcher's duel here tonight. Shy of really one pitch from Josh from Harry Rakowski to Josh Zamora.
Yeah, just one really mistake, but you got to credit Zamora too, really working the count, working it full, and able to just put one over the fence in left field.
Eddie McCabe now the hitter for the Birds. The first pitch, fastball misses low for ball 1. Orleans 2, Bourne nothing. 2 down here in the bottom of the third. McCabe struck out swinging his first time up. One of 3 strikeout victims for Rutkowski. 1-0 flared back and out of play, and it's 1-1. And McCabe spent most of last summer with the Danbury Westerners out in the NECBL. Had a great summer over there. The 1-1 pitch, a curveball tattooed into center field for a base hit. So Eddie McCabe takes one back right where it came from, and he's got a 2-out base knock for the Birds.
Yeah, McCabe looked like he was expecting that off-speed pitch and just waited back on it. And then just able to get enough. Didn't get the sweet spot, but just getting enough of the sweet spot off the edge of the bat to place it right back up the middle.
And Zach Kokoska now the batter. He struck out looking his first time up. We'll see Rutkowski out of the windup. Worked a little meticulously the first time. First pitch to Kokoska in there for strike 1. Kokoska struck out looking his first time up. Not the start you want to the summer, but hey, that's baseball, man. You succeed 3 out of 10 times. The 0-1 slapped the other way, tailing towards the foul line, and it's a foul ball, and it's 0-2.
That's exactly right. You can fail 7 times out of 10 and can consider to be a successful player.
Kokoska did a little more than that this past season at Kansas State. A .330 hitter with 8 homers and 31 RBIs. All Big 12 honorable mention. Rutkowski set at the belt, checks on the runner at first. Here's the 0-2. A hard breaking ball that's chopped up the first base side and foul. Ryan Erickson dances out of the way, and we'll do it again.
I want to see a play from Erickson down, that little backhand or something, or I think he's a lefty, so just scoop it up there, you know.
Some coaching staff changes as well that we can talk about tonight for Orleans. Ryan Erickson back. Jamie Quinn has returned for his 4th season as well for the Firebirds. Rakowski set 0-2 to Kokoska, nub to the right side. Morissette comes on. He'll take the short way to Yaki, and this side is retired. So 3 complete innings here at Eldridge Park. It's Orleans 2 and Bourne nothing. The Firebirds score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. And like we will do every home game this season, we will be joined by the Orleans Firebirds field manager, Kelly Nicholson, to check in with our sideline reporter, Scotty Gange, as we will send it over to Scotty's way. Scotty, what does Skip have to say after the first 3?
3 innings through. 3 innings through, we've seen Adam Seminaris dealing so far. What have you learned from him so far?
Well, he's keeping the ball down and throwing strikes and getting ahead of people. And normally, when you do that, you're going to have a lot of success up here.
So with that crack of the bat, it reminded me that we're all in wood bats. And Josh Zamora, his first time with a wood bat this summer, hits a home run. That must be great to see for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, early in the game 1, he hit that ball well, man. You knew it was out as soon as he hit it.
Anything else you're looking for as this game's progressing? Anything more?
Man, just continue to play well and pitch by pitch, inning by inning. We'll see what shakes out after 9.
Good luck with the rest of the way, Coach. Appreciate you.
You bet.
And thank you to Scotty Gaines, joined by field manager Kelly Nicholson. Again, we'll do that every, hopefully, home game, maybe some road games as well at the end of the bottom of the 3rd inning. Again, after 3 have been complete, it's the Firebirds 2, the Bourne Braves nothing. Again, Thomas and Zarella joined alongside Josh White here at Eldridge Park. Opening day for the Cape League season. Again, both pitchers looking sharp so far. Just the 2-run dinger off the bat of Josh Zamora. First pitch misses upstairs to Xavier Warren, the 3rd baseman out of Central Michigan. Again, back on the bump is Seminaris for his 4th inning of work. Again, 5 would be the total. He would go as a short chopper back up to Seminaris. Barrow hands it, turns it, fires over to first. And Warren is retired here. The first man here in the top of the 4th.
And Thomas, most of the contact that Bourne has made tonight, weak grounders hit by the Braves, and you just can see the way that Seminaris has dominated. Not too many hard hit balls. Really the only mistake was to Shane Muntz, and that was just a slicing ball towards the right field corner.
And that was one that was pretty lucky as he's now retired 6 in a row. Again, then double from Muntz. As the first pitch fastball misses above the letters to Brennan Rivoli, the left fielder out of Virginia. Of course, another outfielder who played right here in Orleans, Adam Hainsley, played right field back in 2016, getting called up to the bigs for the Phillies after Andrew McCutcheon went down with a torn ACL as Rivoli just gets a piece of it and then fouls it back into the screen for strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike on the left-handed hitting left fielder for the Braves. Little catcher at Virginia as well, playing left field tonight. The 1-1 pitch is foul tipped right at the plate as reaching back is Avitia as he hands it back to the umpire to exchange balls.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things about the Cape Cod Baseball League, and just any summer league for that matter, is when you got a guy like Brendan Rivoli who goes to Virginia, Andrew Abbott in the Orleans dugout, another Cavalier, they get to say hello to each other at least for a couple days.
As the 1-2 pitch, again another chopper up the first base line. Bear hitting it, bombing for a second, turning and fires Samaras, and able to hold on as Emery for another out again. 1-3 mark it down on the scorebook. Seminaris being athletic on the mound, running up towards the first base line. And again, since it's a little cold day too, they always water the field down. You wonder, maybe got a little sticky as well, and just Seminaris having to turn and fire rather quickly, able to retire Rivoli in time.
Yeah, that's a tough play with a speedy base runner in Brendan Rivoli. Seminaris bobbled it for a moment, was able to get back on track. He has now retired 11 of the first 12 tonight.
Fastball just missing below the knees to Curtis for ball 1. The cleanup man in the lineup this evening for Harvard Chaparro and the Bourne Braves. 2 outs in the top of the 4th, 2-0. Firebirds leads as this one is clubbed out high in the air out towards left field. Going down as Johnson, able to make the catch in front of the fence at the warning track. And 1-2-3 inning for Seminaris. Again, he has now retired 8 in a row, and he is about as sharp as you can be. So it is has come and gone here at the top of the 4th. So after 3.5, again, Firebirds 2, Braves nothing. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. And we'll go back inside Eldridge Park for this latter half of the 4th inning as the Firebirds come back up to bat. 5-6-7 due for the Firebirds as they hold a 2-run cushion here over the Bourne Braves. Rakowski back on the hill. The southpaw will face the right-handed hitting DH Max Troiani. Takes a first pitch fastball for strike 1. Troiani singled back in the 2nd inning and would score on the Zamora home run there as he just reaches out and gets a piece of it, fouls it back into the screen for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes on Troiani. The 0-2 delivery, curveball hung on strike 3 as Troiani chases after the curveball. And 1 out here in the bottom half of the 4th. Rakowski able to retire Troiani on 3 pitches.
And you can tell, Thomas, that this kid has pitched on the Cape before, especially with Bourne. Just looks comfortable, has the breaking ball working well to keep Orleans off balance so far tonight.
Zamora steps right back into the right side. Fastball misses high above the letters for ball 1. Zamora, of course, the man of the hour here in Orleans, hit that 2-run shot over the left field fence. From the windup once again, it's Rakowski, skied up high in the air, going down the first base line, drifting into the foul ground is the first baseman. Curtis camps under it. It makes the out in foul territory for out number 2.
And not every swing can be a home run, Thomas. I'm sure that Josh Zamora would love for that to be the case, but just got under it, and it seems like Rutkowski has settled down after serving up the 2-run shot back in the second.
Also a good job by Curtis down there to move around the winds of Cape Cod that are swirling around up in the air. As he'll now bring up Rob Emery, the first baseman. He chases after a pitch down in the zone for strike 1. Again, Emery, he singled back in the second as well. This has been the damage. The 5-6-7ers have done most of the damage to Rakowski. 0-1 pitch at the belt. As it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And Emery, the first baseman and catcher out of San Francisco. Steps out for a second, which is back foot towards the back of the batter's box. The 0-2 pitch is spiked in the dirt before home plate. Good block by the catcher, Burns. As Emery tries to work the count here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Taps home plate twice. From the windup once again, the 1-2 pitch. Fastball once again runs up in the zone. Evens up at 2-2. Oddly enough, count is 2-2, and Emery's number is 22. As once again, the 2-2 curveball freezes Emery. He goes down looking. And a 1-2-3 inning worked by Rakowski as he walks off the mound. Gives Burns a fist bump there. As once again, we'll go down to our sideline reporter on the hill. Of course, fans are a big aspect in Orleans. Again, back down to Scotty Gange, who is on the hill.
Thomas, thanks, man. Not really on the hill, just on top of the hill, kind of more on the driveway here. Here with Cindy, a longtime Firebirds fan. Cindy, happy opening day.
Thank you.
Of course, we're talking about how great these teams are and the young players. It's fantastic to see.
The team is a really good player, and actually I don't see a problem with them, and they're a really good team. And hopefully they stay really good at it, and hopefully win.
You're an Orleans resident. How much fun is it to see all these fun people here watching baseball?
It's a lot of fun to see a lot of people support all the team and go for it and having fun.
Cindy, thanks so much. Let's enjoy the rest of the game, all right? Appreciate you. Guys, back over to you.
Thank you, Scotty. And I was one of those kids on the hill. We'll see as July and August go on, and baseball will continue to be played here. And the hill will be filled up. You can easily expect a crowd, especially July 4th, of over north of 2,000 fans. And when playoffs come, that's when the crowds come as well. And I was one of those kids down on the first base line and bring out a blanket or two and a beach chair and catch a baseball game. And me, not knowing the time of the age, 10, 11, 12 years old, not knowing I was watching some of the best players in the country.
I think at some point this summer we got to find old pictures of Thomas Zinzarella, Birds gear on the hill, clinic, whatever it might be. I don't really care, and run it. I don't care if it covers the scoreboard, man. We just need it there. That's the content I need.
Oh, I have one with Brett Cecil was a first-round draft pick by the Toronto Blue Jays. Was my clinic coach. We have some more baseball here back in the top of the 5th inning. Muntz is the leadoff man for the Braves. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch bounces in. Backhanded by Vitia for ball 1. Again, 5-6-7 up for the Braves in this away half of the 5th. Seminaris is on the hill from the windup once again. Kicks and fires. That one bounces in to Vitia's chest protector. 2-0 the count.
So if Kelly Nicholson sticks to the plan, he said either 5 innings or 65, 70-ish pitches for Seminaris. So this will probably be his last inning out on the hill for the Birds.
Looking for another 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 8 in a row. 2-0 fastball. Catches the outside black. First strike 1.
Yeah, he's been sharp tonight, Thomas, all night long. He's only given up 1 hit through the first 4 innings as well, and just that double that slice towards the right field side.
And Muntz is the man who's at the dish right now. The 2-1 pitch off the end of the bat and popped up and out of play behind the Firebirds dugout area. as fighting back in the count as Seminaris has worked it back from 2-0 to now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Once looks down at his feet, twirls in, gets the sign, kicks and fires as the 2-2 is fouled back once again to the netting. Is behind, taking a step off the mound for a second to Seminaris. Rubs his hand on some dirt. Gets back on the rubber. The 2-2 work once again. That one is slicing out towards right field, just touching down on the grass for a base hit. One hop to Kokoska as he'll underhand throw it back into Lewis. And once again, another hit for Shane Muntz. He had a double back in the second, now a single in the fifth. The only 2 hits for the Bourne Braves have come off the bat of Shane Muntz.
So it's either the broadcaster's jinx, because I only said 1 hit through the first 4, or just Shane Muntz a good baseball player. Might be a little bit of both.
You could be seeing the ball well here. So far tonight, opening now the Cape League as Muntz leads off a first. Stepping as the left-handed hitting second baseman, Cody Morissette takes a first pitch fastball at the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. Again, top of the 5th here in Eldridge, 2-0 Firebirds lead. Josh Zamora's home run, the difference maker so far. However, Bourne trying to strike back here, 1 man on with nobody out. Seminaris makes a long stare as a high chopper out towards Lewis at second, flips it on the short. McCabe comes across the back, throws over to first, and it's a double play, a 4-6-3 double play. And just like that, Muntz's single is erased, and there are now 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
This Orleans team looks smooth, man. It doesn't seem like it's June 10th. Feels like it's more like July 30th. This Orleans team doing a lot of things right tonight. The bats have been there. Adam Seminaris on the mound has looked sharp, and now a little defensive flash here in the 5th.
You can see the chemistry on the flip from Lewis to McCabe across the diamond. Firebirds clicking on all cylinders so far as Seminaris, his first pitch to Fetko, is popped once again behind the bird's nest for strike 1 as he bangs his wood bat on his spikes. As Scotty alluded to in the interview with Kelly, of course, wood bat. It is a wood bat league here on the Cape as the 0-1 misses high and out for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. It was, again, the first league to use wood across any summer collegiate league across the country. Seminary steps off for a second, steps back on. 1985 the year when wood bats were first used. And a 1-1 off-speed check swing, but it's in there anyway for strike 2.
It's crazy that you've had some Cape Cod Baseball League action for nearly 100 years at this point. I think we're pushing 97 or just for Chatham, and then 133 for the early formations of the league.
Teams like Sagamore, Osterville, which are no longer, well, Osterville's Katuitt now. As the 1-2 pitch to Fetko is popped up in the air. Lewis heading out towards shallow right field, but Kokoska calling off Lewis and Lala, and that will do it. Double play ball helps the Firebirds get out of the inning as Seminaris, 5 strong innings, just 2 hits, no runs, no earned, and a pair of punch-outs to go along with that. And that will probably do it for Seminaris as there is a right-hander warming in the bullpen for the Firebirds as well. But you have to say, I think, if you're Coach Kelly, you couldn't have asked more than from Seminaris here in opening night.
Yeah, there's not much better you can do. Obviously, if the pitch count allotted for it, he would go deeper in the ball game. But he's just been locked in the last few weeks. What he did at Long Beach, what he's done here in his first start for Orleans. That's now 20 1/3 consecutive innings without allowing an earned run through a complete game shutout in his last start out in Cali. Now comes to Orleans and just picks up where he left off, and he is in line for his first win of his Cape Cod Baseball League career.
You know, there's been a lot of Long Beach players who have made their way to the Cape, especially here in Orleans, and he's following that long line of fellow Long Beach State alums that have played here on the Cape and for Kelly Nicholson. As it looks like we also have a new pitcher on the mound for the Bourne Braves. Rakowski's night has come to a close. As it is Wesley Tobin, the right-hander out of Southern New Hampshire, native of Manchester, New Hampshire. So 4 innings of work done by Rakowski, 2 earned runs, 4 hits. And able to record 5 punch-outs on the night. Again, just the 2-run home run off the bat of Zamora did all the damage.
Yeah, Adam Seminaris pitch count-wise, by the way, 54 pitches through those 5 scoreless innings. And obviously, if he wasn't on a pitch count, we'd probably see him back out there for the 6th, maybe the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. But he looked great. Rutkowski not too bad himself for Bourne. Obviously, that one bad mistake to Josh Zamora, hit it 347 feet for a 2-run shot. And Seminaris, if you look at what he was able to do, he was able to deal pretty nicely out there, shy just 2 hits.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of pitchers here in the camp go past 6 innings, so you have to credit how good Seminaris was tonight. As here in the home half of the 5th inning, 8-9-1 due up for the Firebirds. They hold a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch fastball catches the bottom part of the zone for strike 1 for Tobin. Again, the right-hander out of Southern New Hampshire University. Ready matchup off speed on the inside corner for strike 2. As Avita's quickly in the hole now, 0-2. Again, sun's starting to come down here in Eldridge as Avita lifts one high in the air towards left field, going towards the foul pole. But it looks like it will head foul. Yeah, tough view from our broadcast seat, but just tailing at the last second. Avita had enough to get it there. Again, only 300 down the left field line. So Avita will have another chance here at the dish. From the windup, Tobin kicks and fires. 0-2 is pushed out towards right. Going back to the track, just shy of the wall, and making the grab out there is Fetko for the first out.
Avita hit under the Mendoza line at Grand Canyon, but those were 2 very, very smooth swings for Avita. Drew a walk back in the 2nd. This kid, you can see it all year long, no matter who the stats are, no matter what school they come from. Every guy here deserves to be in the Cape Cod Baseball League. They've proven it time and time again, and not the result Avita was looking for, but a good AB.
Showing Bunn, before pulling back, missing for ball 1. And that ball almost got out too from Avita. The wind is blowing right out to right center towards the foul pole, just left of the grandstand. As that's a weak flare just over the head of the second baseman Morissette, and Trevor Johnson collects his first Cape League hit. As now the Firebirds have a man on here in the bottom half of the 5th inning as they're trying to force some more insurance runs here. Again, they own a 2-0 lead over Bourne. As now the top of the order comes back around for Jordan Lala, the center fielder out of the University of Miami.
Great school.
So Tobin worked from the stretch. That one's hit right back of the middle towards the second baseman. Flip over towards short. Yaki across the diamond. And just like that, Bourne gets out of the inning. That's a 4-6-3 double play, and Tobin works a scoreless 5th inning. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. As Bourne once again able to work its way into the inning after 5. Firebirds 2, Bourne nothing. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. It's the top of the 6th inning from Orleans, Massachusetts, inside beautiful Eldridge Park, as Seminaris has put the Firebirds in a really good spot so far. 5 strong innings from the southpaw. Only 2 hits given up, no runs, no earned runs, and 2 punch-outs, as it is now the right-handed pitcher out of Richmond, Tim Miller, who'll take over and try to preserve this 2-run lead for the Firebirds. Richmond, a redshirt sophomore out of Richmond. Or excuse me, Miller, a redshirt sophomore out of Richmond. Getting my words tied up there. 5-2 year, 3.23 ERA in 13 games, all of them starts. Pitched 69 2/3 innings with 61 punch-outs. Also had 41 ABs his freshman year, as he will face Hess, Burns, and Yaki. So 8, 9, and 1 here in the top of the 6th. Past the center fielder, digs in from the left side. First pitch fastball misses the outside edge for ball 1. Working from the windup is Miller. Kicks in, deals as Hess pops one out over Route 28 into the trees behind us here on the third base line. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Miller looks in for the sign, gets what he wants. Kicks in for the 1-1. Fastball runs up above the letters for ball 2. 2-1 the count on Kyle Hess, the outfielder from Pitt. He had .254 this year. As the 2-1 is lined right back into the screen, just in front of
at home plate to try and get a better vantage point, and thank goodness, otherwise we might be saying a couple other things right now.
The 2-2 pitch is fouled back into the screen, as Hess is putting up a pretty good fight against Miller. Again, Miller, guy who's, we mentioned he was a hitter, but also was a varsity quarterback in high school, playing a little everything, as once again Hess getting a piece of it, fouls it into the screen on the third base side. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th. 2-0 Firebirds lead. Miller once again from the windup. The 2-2 once more, and fouled off once again.
And there's a great battle right now between Hess and Miller. That's 4 consecutive balls fouled off by Hess at the dish. Miller's bringing it on the mound. Different change from the right side than we saw from Seminaris from the south.
Pitch number 8 in the at-bat, and he goes down swinging. Miller wins the battle and retires Hess to start off the top of the 6th inning, and picks up his first Cape League strikeout in the doing.
Thomas, I know the rosters obviously change year in and year out. You're not working with the same guys on the team. Orleans did not have the year on the mound that most Firebirds teams normally have. The Birds known for their pitching, led by Kelly Nicholson.
First pitch to the 9-hole hitting catcher Peter Burns runs up and out of the zone for ball 1.
They've led the Cape 7 different times in ERA since Skip has been at least the pitching coach here in Orleans.
As down and in, misses the fastball for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Peter Burns.
And last year that was their Achilles heel, but so far in the early going in 2019, that looks like that might be a strike.
So far, so good, as Miller spots that fastball in the outer half for strike 1, as giving a nice recognition from the catcher, Avita. Right back at Miller is 2-1. Miller tries to go right back, just missing down the zone. Again, Avita really giving some recognition to Miller out there. 3-1 the count. Get one out here in the top of the 6th. 2-0 Firebirds lead, as the 3-1 fastball is fouled back behind home plate. Count is full. Nobody on, 1 out here. 2-0 Birds lead. Just Zamora's home run the difference so far. As the payoff pitch, check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Back-to-back strikeouts by Miller. And the first 2 batters here in the 6th have been retired by the way of the punch-out.
Yeah, and he has really located and mixed and matched. He's changed the hitter's eye level. That fastball up in the zone, out of the zone. But Burns couldn't hold up, and I think these Bourne hitters have been having to respect the breaking ball. And then when that fastball comes, it's that late reaction.
Here's the third left-hand hitter in the row as Yaki takes a first pitch fastball in there for strike one. Yaki so far 0 for 2, still searching for his first yet again. The only two hits coming from the bat of Shane Muntz as the 0-1 pitch is popped up in the air as we'll find the seats down on the third base side. In the hole is Yaki and no balls in 2 strikes. For the windup once again, the 0-2. Fastball misses high. 1-2 the count. Again, top of the 6th here from Eldridge Park. Nobody on, 2 outs. Miller trying to work a scoreless 6th inning here. The 0-2 is hit sharply on the ground out towards second base. Lewis goes down to a knee, fields it, throws over to the first baseman in Emery, and just like that, Miller works a 1-2-3 inning as he punches out 2 Bourne Braves. And after 5.5 innings, still the Firebirds hold a 2-0 lead. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Baseball Network. And it's the home half of the 6th inning from Eldridge Park as the Firebirds and the Braves go right back at it. 2-0 Firebirds lead, but first we'll go down to Scotty, who is back on the hill for some more.
Thanks, Thomas. Here with the guy that threw the heater of the first pitch of the 2019 season, Mr. Ron Conti, his friend Doug. Ron, I'll go to you first. And first off, great throw. And how great is it for Orleans Firebirds baseball to be back in town?
Wonderful, wonderful. It makes the summer here, and we meet new people here who come from all over. It's one of the big things to come to. People come here to eat seafood, go to Nauset Beach, and come to Cardinal Firebird games.
What's the best out of those 3?
The baseball, of course. I'm an ex-baseball.
Doug, how is it to be out here and feeling the entire vibe and everything?
Well, I've been here for so many years that I really can't express it any more that it's pleasant. Most of the people here are pleasant and nice.
It's a fantastic atmosphere, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I know, we're very important people. Thomas and Josh, we're going to be talking to these guys all season long because they are very important, and I know they've got some fun stories for us. Guys, thanks so much. Thomas and Josh, back to you, back to some baseball.
And thank you, Scott, as A.J. Lewis, the 2-hitter in this lineup, gets on with a leadoff single, so nobody away here with the man on first as first pitch to Eddie McCabe, the 3-hitter, the shortstop out of Georgetown, fouls it back into the screen for strike 1. A.J. Lewis now 1 for 3 on the evening. McCabe, he's 1 for 2. He singled back in the 3rd inning. Again, it is Tobin from Southern New Hampshire, the right-hander on the mound again for Bourne as McCabe's right back on the fastball, fouls it back in the screen as it's 0-2 now on McCabe.
Last half inning, I ran into Alex Gamash's father, who played in Orleans last summer. Him and Eddie McCabe, Alex and Eddie, roommates down at Georgetown, both had some pretty good years.
As Lewis goes on towards second as McCabe swings at a fastball. Elevated the zone, pops it out, so Lewis will have to take the trek back to first base. And those type of relationships, you talk about the roommates, I think a really interesting roommate scenario here on the Cape is, of course, the host families and where the players stay. And some of those roommates they meet here, that could be a guy from UNC or guys maybe like Long Beach State, for example, and they become very good friends even as time goes on. They go in the minor leagues and into their other careers. As McCabe once again fouls it back into the screen. Count is still no balls and 2 strikes.
I wonder if that includes the broadcasters as well. I'm sleeping about, what, 15 feet from your bed?
15 feet, and
maybe a little too close for me.
Scotty and Alec maybe like 2 feet down there, so close quarters, of course, in the cottage. Well, the 0-2 to McCabe is down in the zone. Fastball popped up and behind the bird's nest.
You know what we got to do at some point, and I hate to steal things from other people and pass it off as my own, so I'm going to give them credit. Sam Brief and Sam Niederman from Katuitt, and I know Sam Niederman's back on the Cape. Sam Brief working for the Chicago Dogs. We could play bingo here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Any mention of the cot, there could be some fun things to put on.
Oh, there definitely could. Great idea by those 2 guys, by the way, as Lewis going off towards second. Throw down is high. Lewis gets up quickly but stays right there as McCabe is retired on strikes. But the speedy Lewis still in the bag here. I mean, just flexing his speed there is Lewis. I mean, he's a guy that had 17 stolen bases this year for Eastern Kentucky. And actually, Lewis, go back to him. He was 17 for 22 in stealing bags this year. He has his first on the Cape. As McCabe is retired, he goes down looking. But a man on second with 1 down. First pitch to Kokosko. Misses up in the zone for ball 1. Kokosko 0 for 2 the right fielder out of Kansas State. Digs in from the left side, waves his bat back towards the pitcher in Tobin. Tobin still searching for a sign and gets it finally. Lewis with a healthy lead off at second. As Kokosko fouls it back into the netting behind home plate for strike 1. 1-1 is the count on Kokosko. Again, Lewis off a second. 1 down the inning here on the top of the 6th. It's going to be bottom of the 6th. Firebirds lead 2-0 over Bourne in this home opener. Kokoska swings right over the off-speed pitch. Count is 1-2. Jobin used a double play ball to get out of the inning last time. Searching for another punch out here to try to ward off this Firebirds offensive attack so far. Again, just the 2 runs, but trying to add to that total here is off-speed pitch in the dirt. Good block by the catcher, Burns, as Lewis was jumping off a second, searching for it. So count evens back up at 2-2.
I can't even think of the last time a catcher had that much speed, and I know he's playing second base tonight, but he's a catcher by trade. 17 stolen bases on 22 attempts over at Eastern Kentucky, and he's just dancing around out there.
A lot of speed on second, and that was a weak pop-up to the pitcher, Tobin. Camps under it and secures it for the second out.
Not every day you see a P1 right back to the pitcher, some soft contact, and you're going to see that in the early parts of this season. Pitchers can take advantage of the wood bats, pitch a little more inside. Hitters trying to make that adjustment, really get the bat head out in front. And one of the things we alluded to a little bit at early parts of the broadcast, some of the staff changes on this Orleans side. Jamie Quinn, who was the pitching coach for the previous 3 seasons, he's now gone on the other side of things. He's going to run the offense, and he's coaching third base right now for Orleans.
Yeah, he's kind of taken over a guy like Benny Craig a couple years ago. Who would, they watched film downstairs below the clubhouse. His first pitch strike to Troiani, the DH, for strike 1. Again, the wood bats are always interesting to talk about just because you're right, it takes a little bit longer to get the bat head around as check swing in the dirt, but Troiani able to hold off. So 1-1 is the count on the DH from Bentley. Interesting about Troiani as well is that he's an economics and finance major, which Bentley is well known in the Northeast and kind of the East Coast, a very good business school. He's involved with the investment club as the energy sector analyst. I couldn't tell you anything about that, but Troiani might be your guy. Fastball just missing the outside edge. The Bourne dugout really wanted that one.
There are some very interesting storylines about some of the guys on this team, and we'll bring them to you every single game, all 44 in the regular season, and including the postseason. Don't want to spoil all the stories just yet on opening night.
The 2-1 pitch to Troiani is hammered foul on the ground. Just past the third base's box, and Jamie Quinn down there, of course.
It's great to see, too, after a 6-year hiatus here on the Cape, Matt Troop back as Troop, I beg your pardon. He's the pitching coach for Orleans. He pitched 2 summers here at Eldridge Park, and he was fantastic. He was lights out for Orleans, was the closer, was known as the mayor of Orleans those summers, according to Nancy Nicholson. Gotta love Nancy.
Well, Nancy would know the best as the 2-2 Troiani is a weak hit over towards left side of the infield, scoops it up, hurrying it over. The throw across the diamond from Warren is in time to retire Troiani. So that will end the home half of the 6th inning. Again, Firebirds hold a 2-0 lead over the Bourne Braves. We head to the final 3 innings here, as we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Of course, Eldridge, of course, a 7 o'clock start time. That will be the latest game here tonight. As Hyannis and Chatham are battling it out in Hyannis. Hyannis currently at the bottom of the 7th, holding a 4-1 lead over the Anglers. Over in Falmouth, top of the 9th, Falmouth holds a 7-2 lead over Harwich. And then over in Wareham off Cape, in the bottom of the 5th, currently have a 1-run lead over the Brewster Whitecaps. Game in lead 2-1. And the other game today was the YD Red Sox in Katuitt at 5. We'll get you a score update on that. But the defending not national champions, but the defending Cape League champs, the Wareham Gatemen, facing off against Brewster with a 1-run lead again. So that's good to see if you're a Gateman fan trying to repeat as champions.
And Orleans obviously up here at Eldridge Park, 2-0 over the Bourne Braves. It's the Firebirds 2, Braves nothing as we head to the top of the 7th in Orleans, Massachusetts. Opening night of this 2019 Cape Cod Baseball League campaign. Xavier Warren, the switch hitting third baseman from Central Michigan, will dig in for the Braves. And his Orleans pitching staff has been lights out all night long. Miller back out for his 2nd inning of work. The first pitch, a fastball that misses low below the knees for ball 1. Adam Seminaris, the first 5 scoreless for the Birds, just surrendered 2 hits and struck out 2. Miller, a quick 1-2-3 frame in the 6th. The 1-0 punched the other way and out of play, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Seminaris, I mean, we've alluded to all broadcasts long, but I think he really gave a jolt of energy to this team, and that's the kind of start you need on opening night to rejuvenate this season, especially for Kelly after the way things went south a little bit towards last season.
The 1-1, fastball that misses well upstairs, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Just look at these at-bats for Bourne. Only one guy in the lineup has a hit tonight. It's Shane Muntz. He's got both base knocks for the Braves. The 2-1, fastball that ties up Warren. He held off, and it's now 3 balls and 1 strike.
And we can kind of see that, too, sometimes in June early games on the Cape when the offense isn't totally there yet. Guys trying to get acclimated to the wood bats at times, so it takes maybe a week or 2.
3-1 pitch, fastball misses outside, ball 4. First free pass issued by the night by the Orleans pitching staff, and that will bring up the tying run here in the 7th in the form of Brendan Rivoli. So a chance for Bourne to make this a ball game, and it's far from over. Just a 2-run cushion for Orleans here in the 7th. We saw how quickly things can turn on a dime with Josh Zamora leaving the yard. And Rivoli out of the University of Virginia, 0 for 2 with a couple of weak ground downs. Birds need 2 outs right here to erase the runner at first. First pitch from Miller misses upstairs for ball 1.
All it takes is one swing of the bat for Bourne to get right back into it. So it's going to take a total team effort, all aspects of the game for the Firebirds to win this game, pitching, hitting, and so far the pitching and hitting have been up there so far. Got some runs, haven't yielded any, but again, still a lot of chances left for Bourne.
Righty on lefty matchup here, the 1-0. Fastball misses upstairs. It's now 2 balls and no strikes, and it seems like Miller's starting to lose a little bit of command here in the 2nd inning of work for him. And we will get our first mound meeting of the summer from Matt Troop, who again was quote-unquote the mayor of Orleans his 2 summers here on the Cape. And Troop just going to come out and try and calm down Miller, who looked sharp in that 6th, but just can't seem to find the strike zone here in the 7th.
I can tell you what, right now, he's the mayor of maybe Orleans gear. I saw the BP shirt he had on. I have to get one of those, too. And then Troop's sporting that jacket right now, the quarter sleeve with the black. They don't sell those, but I might have to talk to somebody about that, about getting one of those. Some fresh gear you can get here in Orleans.
So the meeting adjourned on the mound. It's Orleans 2, Bourne nothing. And with nobody out in the top of the 7th. So runner on first, it's Xavier Warren. He's a threat to go, not running. 2-0, fastball misses outside. And it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Firebirds do look like they have a right-hander warming in that bullpen out there in right center.
3-0 the count as Miller has really struggled with command. It's a get-me-over fastball in there for a strike. Warren at first base. 14 of 14 in stolen base attempts. That was towards the MAC. Central Michigan Chippewas, by the way, rattled off 19 consecutive wins heading into the postseason. 3-1 pitch, a fastball cut on and missed, and the count runs full. They had things rolling. They upset the Miami Hurricanes 6-5 in the Starkville Regional in Game 2 to play in the winner's bracket against Mississippi State. And Mississippi State is still rolling, so you know how things went for the Chippewas. They lost to Mississippi State. They lost to Miami the following day, and that ended their season. But what a run for Central Michigan. Payoff pitch, fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Miller, a strong heater past the swing bat of Rivoli. It's Miller's 3rd K, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, that's some strong mental side there from Miller, able to overcome that, falling well behind in the count, working his way back from 3-0, and able to punch out Rivoli. Now he's just a ground ball away from getting out of this 7th inning.
Now A.J. Curtis, the batter for Bourne. There's 1 down here at the top of the 7th, a 2-0 Orleans lead. Warren off of first, Curtis the batter, and a check on from Miller, but not in time. Curtis, just like practically everyone in this Bourne lineup tonight, 0 for 2. Grounded out to the first baseman, Rob Emery, back in the 2nd. It was a slow roller up the first base line that Emery fielded and just applied a strong tag to Curtis. First pitch home. Fastball hit right on the screws of the shortstop, McCabe. He makes the grab, and Warren scampers back to first base. Curtis hit it right on a line, and McCabe was up to the task, and there's 2 down.
Wowza, that was tagged right over to McCabe, able to hold on as well. Had a little bit of curve and movement to it. McCabe watching it all the way in, able to make the grab over at shortstop, and good play by McCabe.
Now Shane Muntz, who's halfway to the cycle, the lone 2 hits for Bourne tonight. He doubled in the 2nd, singled in the 5th. First pitch, fastball misses upstairs for ball 1.
Well, the wind's picked up a little towards right center. That's where he saw his first double down that right field line. Just missing the base of the wall by a foot or 2.
A 1-0. Fastball in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Shane Muntz, a 2-way player out of Wake Forest University. More known on the batter's box with the bat from the right side. The 1-1, Warren going, got a great jump, and Muntz fouls it back, and it's 1-2. He made 17 appearances on the mound, even got a start, but just 0-2 with a 6.93 ERA. David F. Couch Ballpark in Winston-Salem, a tough ballpark to pitch in, but the bat for Muntz reaped the benefits of the small yard. 313 average, 14 home runs. And a chance to tie this ball game up with 1 swing of the bat. Warren's on at first with 2 away. The 1-2, fastball misses low, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, his head coach down there at Wake Forest, Tom Walter, quoting, saying as a premium 2-way player.
You don't see too many of them nowadays, but Muntz trying to do it at a higher level. 2-2, Warren going, breaking ball in the dirt. Throw down from the catcher, Arvidia, not in time, as it's dropped by A.J. Lewis. A great jump by Xavier Warren. And Bourne has just their 2nd base runner of the night in scoring position here in the 7th inning.
Well, it was a good pitch to go on. I pitched down in the zone and into the dirt. Troiani trying to do all the best that he could on that one, but, you know, a good jump off of first by Warren, able to beat the throw from Troiani. is now, I believe we're looking for the car out in right field, I believe, maybe, or something to turn off the lights. I don't know.
Don't you love how that happens here at Eldridge Park sometimes?
Well, that's what I'm figuring, because I see headlights out there. It happens almost, I feel like, almost every game. You know, right field or behind the clubhouse. So looks like that might not be the problem, but that usually happens every game. So
runner on second with 2 down here in the 7th. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball in there, strike 3. Curveball caught Muntz looking at the knees. Make it 4 Ks for Tim Miller, and he gets out of the jam here for the Birds. The Braves score no runs on no hits, no errors, and they leave Xavier Warren stranded at second base. We've reached stretch time here at Eldridge Park. 2-0 Orleans advantage. Listening to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back here into the Birds Broadcast Network at Eldridge Park. It's opening day, and the parents are out. We've got Lee and Sandy Wilcox here watching some beautiful, beautiful baseball. Guys, first off, welcome in. You're here from Georgia. Is it nice to be out here today?
Oh, it's great to be here. The weather, obviously, we thought we had put away our warm weather clothes, but it's very pleasant out. We've loved getting around the Cape, seeing some things, so it's been really nice.
Sandy, your son Cole has been traveling the country and everything, playing baseball, and here he is in the Cape. Where would you kind of rank Eldridge Park? You guys have said that he's played in Wrigley Field, Petco Park. I know it's not the same size, but is it maybe the aura, the feeling a little better?
Oh, it's very exciting. We've just enjoyed being in the Cape. We've never been here before, and it took us about 16 and a half hours to get here, but it's been well worth it.
Lee, you talk about you guys have made so many great connections, and baseball has kind of shaped Cole and both of you guys through his career playing days. What have you learned specifically through Cole's playing days of baseball?
Well, it's been a lot of fun. Was able to coach him for a long time as well. So, the main thing that we've taken away from it is the folks that we've been able to meet. I mean, baseball has afforded us to be able to travel a lot of great places here in the Cape. I mean, there's a lot of folks that would love to be here right now, and as well as, like you said, San Diego, Wrigley Field, some of those places. But the folks that we've met have been really, really great. We've made a lot of great friends, some folks that are scheduled to be playing here as well. And so, that's just been the great part about baseball, really.
We're about to see Cole on the mound later this week and for the Orleans Firebirds for this next month. Lee, Sandy, thanks so much for joining us in, and let's enjoy a great rest of the day. Guys, back over to you.
Thanks, Scotty, as always. That's Scotty Gange working the sidelines here at Eldridge Park. Talking with Cole Wilcox's family, with Orleans leading Bourne 2-0 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Rob Emery aboard for the second time tonight with a single. Just hit back up the box to the shortstop, Ernie Yaki, but not able to make the play. And here's David Ovidia, the catcher, the first pitch, a breaker that misses wild and outside for ball 1. Josh Zamora gave a big-time charge to kick off this inning, but flew out just to the left fielder Rivoli to start this frame.
You just have to wonder if the wind knocked down maybe just a little bit.
The 1-0 to Ovidia misses low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. And Ovidia, his last time up, put one for a charge, smacked a foul ball down the left side, then flew one out to right. Walked back in the second as well, the catcher from Grand Canyon. Emery on at first. Here's the 2-0. Fastball misses upstairs, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. And we have Wesley Tobin still on the mound for the Bourne Braves. It was Harry Rutkowski the first 4. Only made one mistake. It was a 2-run shot off the bat of Josh Zamora, and then it's been Tobin since. 3-0, fastball misses up and away, ball 4. So back-to-back base runners reach for the Birds. They've got 2 on and only 1 out, and their 9-hole hitter Trevor Johnson coming to the dish.
Vidia so far, he's 0 for 1 with the 2 walks, so really seeing the ball. Well, that at bat, maybe not as many close pitches, but the first 2 at bats, he's put quality at bats together, and even though he hasn't gotten a hit, you can kind of just sense that he feels a little more comfortable in the batter's box right now than maybe he did earlier in the spring up here on the Cape. As there's just a quick visit from the Bourne dugout.
So a big-time chance for Orleans to really extend this 2-0 lead. The first pitch to Johnson. Gorgeous curveball that drops in there for strike 1. Johnson a hit tonight for the Birds. A single his last time up back in the 5th. It's 2 runs on 7 hits for Orleans. No errors, just only 2 hits tonight for Bourne. The 0-1, a breaker misses low. Nice stop by Burns to smother it in front. And it's 1-1. And this is the effort that Orleans needed tonight. Got a strong pitching performance so far from Seminaris and Miller. The Bats have totaled 7 hits off of Bourne's staff that has some Cape Cod Baseball League experience so far. Savidia on at first, Emery aboard at second. The 1-1. Curveball drops in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. And you can see that Tobin has now relied on the curveball here in this frame. Got a mound visit during the last batter after Avidia, just trying to calm him down. Top of the lineup for the Firebirds, waiting on deck with Jordan Lala. 1-2. Fastball misses upstairs, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. We haven't seen any runs since the 2nd inning. It was just on 1 swing of the bat that Josh Zamora gave Orleans an advantage. His first home run of the summer. Orleans has had a base hit in the last 3 innings. 2-2 misses low, and the count runs full. And now it brings up an interesting spot of what Kelly Nicholson and Jamie Quinn will elect to do here. You've got Avidia on at first, Emery off of second base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Birds are leading the Braves 2-0. Righty on righty matchup. Tobin set at the chest. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball cracked out to center field. Kyle Hess on the run in the right center field gap. He makes the grab, and both runners will have to retreat back to their bags. Johnson hit it right on a line, but you never want to hit a ball into center field, it feels like, here at Eldridge Park.
Yeah, Eldridge Park, 434 in center field. It's very tough to even hit a one-hopper off the wall. Again, the only person put out there over the center field fence was Frank Thomas when he played for Orleans.
Back in 1988. What a year, Thomas.
Of course, a Hall of Famer now. See Monson commercials now on TV, so that's what he's doing these days.
First pitch to Lala, a fastball in there for strike 1. Lala, a rough night so far to kick off his Cape Cod Baseball League career. 0 for 3. Couple of groundouts, including a double play to end the 5th. He's got a chance to drive in a run here for the Birds and extend their lead. 0-1. A fastball just fouled back, and it's 0-2. And it can be tough sometimes. Not only are you adjusting to high-level pitching, and Lala's obviously seeing that at the University of Miami in the ACC, but you travel up to the Cape. 1 day later, you turn around and you play some baseball.
Well, it's a lot different than a college game. You're playing basically 6 games a week. Not used to that really in college.
The 0-2. Fastball just nubbed up the third base side. Gonna be a tough play for Warren. He's coming to charge. Throw to first base. It got him. Lala speedster down the line. Pulled Curtis off the bag. He's able to regather his footing, and the side is retired. So Orleans threatens here in the 7th. The Birds scored no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We're through 7 complete innings here at Eldridge Park. 2-0 Orleans lead. Listen to Orleans Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Orleans 6 outs away from punching their first victory of the 2019 season. It's the Firebirds 2 and the Braves nothing as we head to the top of the 8th here at Eldridge Park. And the third pitcher of the night for Orleans, it's Donovan Benoit, the right-hander from Santa Fe College, I beg your pardon, in Florida.
Yeah, Benoit is a guy that played at Tennessee for a year, pitched 20 innings there, picked up a save, and then transferred to the JUCO ranks, which we still see a lot of guys from the JUCO ranks making their way onto the Cape. You know, Rankin Woolley last year for Chatham, who's now at Auburn. Now actually Jack Collin, I believe, for Chatham is a JUCO guy now.
So the day is done for Tim Miller out of the pen. First pitch to Cody Moore, set, fouled back to the screen for strike 1. Miller 2 scoreless frames out of the Orleans bullpen. Walked 1 and struck out 4. Had some big strikeouts in that 7th to get out of a jam. The 0-1 from Benoit. A fastball fouled on to Route 8 here, and it's 1-1.
Just to put in perspective, we're in the 8th inning right now. We're at an hour and 42
Don't jinx
minutes.
anything, man. Don't do it. You knew it was going to happen.
I mean, still.
The 1-1. Fastball in there. Did he go around? He did. Beg your pardon, it was 0-2, so that's strike 3 to Morissette. So Benoit comes out of the bullpen and fends Morissette for the first out of the 8th. So now Kyler Fedko going to try and give the Braves something to cook with. And we saw Orleans and Falmouth last year play a game in about an hour 52. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. A 9-inning baseball game in about an hour 52. First pitch to Fedko in there for strike 1.
That is miraculous, you know, I would say, to play it under 2 hours.
It was Scott Politz on the mound for Falmouth out of Yale. Pitched 7 innings of 1-hit ball. 0-1. Breaker bounces low, and it's 1-1.
Well, that will do it for you if you have great pitching on there, keeping it quick, you know, hitters jumping on maybe some pitches, you know. It'll speed things up.
Been playing pretty quickly here tonight at Eldridge Park. It's a 2-0 Orleans lead.
It's usually the mountain visits and, you know, guys getting on.
1-1, fouled off the mask of Avidia, and it's 1-2. It looks like it ricocheted off of Avidia and then the home plate umpire. Our good friend Mark P. You want to go for it, Thomas?
Poindiesi, I think, is what it is.
You got the Italian, and you might be able to pull it off. He's walking around, appears to be okay behind the dish. But the Firebirds leading the Braves 2-0 with 1 out here in the top of the 8th.
I guess in my umpiring days, I've got a couple bats thrown at my feet, a couple deflections like that, but these are...
I don't think that was unintentional. There was intent, 100%.
No.
1-2, curveball that freezes Fedko, strike 3. Donovan Benoit dominant out of the bullpen. He's racked up back-to-back Ks, and there's 2 down.
Again, just getting out in front of the hitters here, and Benoit's taking a page out of the textbook of what Seminaris was doing earlier in the game, and Benoit has just been dominant so far to the first 2 hitters that he has faced.
So Kyle Hess now the batter, the first pitch. Fastball in there for a strike, and you see Benoit's follow through a nice big leg kick from that third base side coming through.
Really trying to reach back and get all the velocity that he can.
The 0-1. Fastball misses outside, and it's 1-1. It's almost that scoot even after he releases the ball.
I was about to say, it's almost like he's jumping over towards the first base bag, towards that way.
There's a pitcher for the Atlanta Braves a few years back, not the Bourne Braves. The 1-1 pitch misses low, and it's 2-1. He used to hop off the rubber, and where he released the ball was not 60 feet and 6 inches. And you kind of just think about it, and it's like, well, that can't be legal. 2-1 pitch, fastball squared into shallow center field. Lala coming on, but this one bounces down. So Kyler Fedko, a base knock, beg your pardon, Kyle Hess, a base hit for Bourne, and the Braves will bring the tying run to the plate once again.
Just the 3rd hit again for Bourne in this game. Not many base runners have reached for Bourne either. Again, just the walk worked by Warren, who then stole a bag, but that's been pretty much it. Just the 2 hits for Muntz, the walk, and now Hess. And that was a little squibbler out towards center.
It looks like we will get a pinch hitter here for Bourne. It is Noah Bridges, the center fielder from North Carolina, Wilmington. So he will take his first licks of this Cape Cod Baseball League campaign.
Aubrey Chaparro going to the bench early here.
Righty on lefty matchup, a chance to tie the game for Bourne. First pitch to Bridges, he's swinging right away and fouls it down the left field line. 0-1. Day ends for Peter Burns behind the dish. He went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Sure we'll see some shuffling to go around for Bourne defensively in the bottom half of this frame. Bridges listed as a center fielder, but plenty of catchers on this Braves squad. It's Hess on at first with 2 down here in the 8th. And Benoit check over, and the first baseman, Rob Emery, somehow able to corral it down.
Yeah, jumped over the runner of Hess over there. His little, Benoit did put a lot of velocity on it. It ended up being a high release point and almost going towards the foul pole line area. But acrobatic catch by Emery.
We've seen Donovan Benoit for just a few minutes out on the mound. The 0-1 fastball misses low, and it's 1-1. But he is a max effort guy. Whether it's a pickoff move, whether it's a throw home, he is giving it all.
Yeah, from what we've seen so far, I mean, he's locked in, ready to go. He's ready to go to battle here.
Righty on lefty matchup. Benoit set at the belt. The 1-1. Breaker misses outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Orleans tonight, 2 runs on 7 hits. No errors. And 5 runners left on base. For the Bourne Braves, it's no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and only 2 runners left on. Make it 3 hits after that Hess base knock. 2-1 line drive right at the third baseman, Zamora, who snags it down. They don't call it the hot corner for no reason. He makes the grab, and Josh Zamora doing it all for the Birds tonight. Bourne scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. What are the home half of the 8th? 2-0 Orleans lead. Listen to Birds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Eldridge Park. Orleans with a 2-0 lead over Bourne as the Birds are 3 outs away from capping off their first victory of the season and looking to add a couple of insurance runs here in the 8th. A.J. Lewis will lead things off for the Birds. The first pitch, a fastball in there for strike 1. It seems like we've got a no-name pitcher right now. No jersey number that matches the description out there. The official scorer even coming down to see what Harvey Shapiro's doing. And the 0-1 to Lewis swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Just the Cape Cod Baseball League.
And just the Cape on opening night. That's what it is. Stuff like this happens.
Everyone's working out all the kinks. 0-2 to Lewis. Breaking ball misses low and inside, and it's 1-2. Lewis digs back in. Here's the pitch. Nubbed right back to the mound. Fielded by the pitcher, who we've yet to figure out. Underhand toss to A.J. Curtis for the first out. We do have a defensive change we're 100% sure of. Paul Gazzo behind the dish for the Braves. And if that last name sounds familiar, his twin brother Sal played in Orleans a year ago. Eddie McCabe now the hitter. The first pitch fouled back onto the hill for strike 1. And Eddie's 1 for 3 tonight. A single sandwich between a couple of strikeouts. A rising junior out of Georgetown University. 0-1. Fastball popped behind the dish. The catcher Gazzo tossed the mask, and it's 0-2.
Second straight at bat now. McCabe has been down on the count 0-2. Let's see if he can try to climb out of this one.
Firebirds 2, Braves nothing. Here with 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the 0-2. Fastball that climbs the ladder and misses upstairs, and it's 1-2. In the 9th inning, Bourne will have the top of their lineup to try and tie this ball game up. We've seen some strong pitching from the Firebirds all night long. 1-2, hit right on the screws at the third baseman Warren, down to a knee, backhand, throw across the diamond in time. And Xavier Warren continues to flash the leather at the hot corner, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, I think both third basemen tonight, Zamora and Warren, have really been putting on a clinic down there, making some defensive stabs, and another strong play by Warren.
And Scotty Gange was near that play from Xavier Warren on the third base side. Scotty, what did you see?
Well, obviously a great play from Xavier on the side. I mean, hard hit to the corner, but I do have an update on the pitcher. This is Nick Iverson from Gonzaga. He's actually number 14 for some reason on the scorebook, but going to be Nick Iverson on the mound from Gonzaga. A little bit of a switch up between jerseys and whatnot, but we did get the name for our Braves pitcher this inning, guys.
So Iverson back out there, and we thank Scotty for tracking down the pitcher. Why not? Have some fun, wear some different jerseys. It's summer baseball. He's in a 1-1 battle with Zach Kokoska. And here's the pitch from the right-hander. A fastball cut on and missed, and it's 1-2.
Well, it's funny. I remember my time at Harwich last year. I think somebody forgot their jersey back at the clubhouse, and we're going, I think, either Falmouth could do it, someone one of the West teams. They had to borrow a pitcher's number.
The 1-2, fouled back by Kokoska, and we'll do it again.
And I think that pitcher then had a older Harwich jersey, so it was a little throwback there. People a little confused why this one guy had a little older one or something. So things can happen, you know, when you have to travel west or West team traveling east.
Here's the 1-2, fastball once again that's fought off by Kokoska, and we'll do it again. And if you're Iverson, this has been a long journey to get here to Cape Cod. An Ontario native goes to Gonzaga, going from the west coast to the east, about as far east as you can get. And the 1-2, a curveball smacked to deep right field. Kokoska watching it fly. If it's fair, it's gone, and it just lands foul. Kokoska hit it right on the screws, thought it had the distance off the bat. It definitely did towards the parking lot, but missed foul by about a couple of feet.
Wow, that was awfully close, just tailing by it looked like an inch or two. I mean, he was pleading with it to just stay fair, and that would have been a huge insurance run for the Firebirds.
And he tossed the bat, getting ready to go into his home run trot, but it just started tailing foul. 1-2, fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. 1-2 third inning for Iverson, who not only was wearing the wrong jersey, but figures things out here at Eldridge Park. One last chance for the Bourne Braves. It's Orleans 2, Bourne nothing. We'll head to the top of the ninth. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Orleans just needs 3 outs to wrap up their first victory of the 2019 summer, and Kelly Nicholson will turn it over. I guess we can call him the early closer on opening night. It's Jeffrey Pramel, the hard-throwing right-hander.
Yeah, Pramel, a guy from southern New Hampshire. It's always, always tough to tell early on who's the closer, but sometimes the guy that succeeds early on will stay there the whole season, and Pramel, a native of Bridgewater, New Jersey, against Southern New Hampshire. 25 appearances this year, 5-1 record, 10 saves, so he's acclimated to that closer role back at school. 36 2/3 inning pitch with a 0.98 ERA in 44 punch-outs.
And he throws absolute gas on the mound. Upper 90s has been clocked even in the triple digits a few times. It's the top of the lineup for Bourne, trailing by 2 as we head to the top of the ninth. Ernie Yockey, the batter, the first pitch. Fastball in there for strike 1. Yockey 0 for 3 tonight on opening day. And just 2 hits now make it 3 after that Kyle Hess base knock in the 8th for Bourne. The 0-1. A fastball misses low, and it's 1-1. And for Pramel, he's 6'1", $180. Seems even a bit taller on the mound. Very lanky kid out on the bump, working from the first base side. The 1-1, a fastball misses upstairs, and it's 2-1. And the one thing you can't do if you're Pramel is issue a free pass and put the tying run at the plate. You only walked 7 guys in a little less than 37 innings this past year at Southern New Hampshire. 2-1 pitch. Fastball misses low, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, definitely the leadoff man getting on here for Bourne goes a long way into trying to tie things up here in the 9th.
And the wind is picking up to right field. 3-1. Fastball slapped that way into right. Kokoska coming on. This one a couple bounces in front of him. So Ernie Yockey earns his way on with a ripped single to the right side. And the Braves will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Xavier Warren.
Again, it's a tough task for Pramel coming in. He had the 1-2-3 hitters, and you just have to think if you can retire the first man, maybe build a little more confidence on the mound and try to get the next 2. But falling behind the count early sometimes isn't a key for success. Dangerous part of the order, too, for Bourne.
It's the 2-hole hitter, Xavier Warren. The first pitch, a fastball popped into shallow left field. The third baseman, Zamora, is there right on the infield dirt to make the grab and foul ground. And the Braves are down to their final 2 outs. So Orleans has been riding that 2-run home run by Josh Zamora back in the second from strong pitching all night long. It's 8 1/3 scoreless so far for Orleans. Just 4 hits surrendered. Brendan Rivoli now the batter for the Braves. He's 0 for 3 and struck out swinging his last time up. Leans has turned 1 double play tonight. Can they turn a second to end this ball game? First pitch, fastball up in the zone. Swung and missed for strike 1. Rivoli, a Pennsylvania native, attends the University of Virginia. A natural catcher, but has shifted to the outfield the last few seasons. He's manning left field tonight for Harvey Shapiro and the Braves. Quick move over to first base, and Yockey dives back in, and you can see that out on the mound that Pramel's holding his own.
Yeah, Pramel, those are a neat pickoff move with a really quick action over there once he stepped off the back rubber.
A pitch cut on and missed, and it's quickly 0-2, and maybe Pramel getting the nerves out of the way after that leadoff base knock. Yeah, Yockey on at first. Rivoli, the batter, represents the tying run. It's a 2-0 Orleans lead here in the top of the 9th. Pramel comes set and now steps off the rubber. Pramel 10 saves this past season at Southern New Hampshire. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball fouled back to the screen, and we'll do it again. Pramel, a third-team All-American at the D2 level. He has found ways to throw strikes, get ahead, and pound the zone.
Yeah, Southern New Hampshire is a powerhouse school in New England at the D2 level.
The 0-2 pitch, curveball cut on and missed, strike 3. A breaker that stayed up in the zone. Rivoli couldn't connect, and the Braves are down to their final out of the night.
What a great comeback from Pramel, getting the pop out and then getting the punch out for Rivoli. That's huge for Pramel, just 1 out away from securing a save here for the Firebirds, and the Firebirds pick up their first victory on opening night.
They are 1 out away from notching an opening day victory right here. First pitch to A.J. Curtis, a curveball that drops in there for strike 1. Orleans tonight, 2 runs on 7 hits, and no errors. Bourne scoreless through the first 8 2/3. Just 4 hits to show for the Braves. It's Yockey aboard at first, and Curtis digs back in representing the tying run. Pramel set the 0-1, a breaking ball cut on and missed, and it's 0-2. So now Orleans has the Braves against the wall. Pramel looking for back-to-back A's to end off this ball game. He had 10 saves this spring at Southern New Hampshire. Long stare in from Pramel. Now he comes set. Here's the 0-2. Fastball sky down the right side and out of play, and we'll do it again. A strong pitching night for Orleans, started by Adam Simonaris. He went the first 5, just surrendered 2 hits. 2 scoreless from Tim Miller. Donovan Benoit, a shutdown 8th. And here is Jeff Pramel. The 0-2. Fastball misses upstairs. Curtis lays off. And it's 1-2. And if Curtis can find a way to get on, he's got Shane Muntz waiting on deck, who has 2 of the 4 hits tonight for the Braves.
Yeah, he's pretty much been the Firebird killer.
The 1-2. Curveball missed upstairs. For a second, Curtis thought it caught the strike zone. And it's 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. 2-0 Firebirds lead. The 2-2. Breaking ball chopped back up the middle through the legs of the pitcher, and Pramel throws to first base, and the ball game is over. A shutdown performance on the mound for the Orleans Firebirds, as Adam Simonaris goes the first 5. Tim Miller, Donovan Benoit, and Jeff Pramel team up to go the next 4. And the Orleans Firebirds, a 2-0 opening day victory after that 2-run shot by Josh Zamora in the second inning. And after a rough 2018 for the Orleans Firebirds, 2019 starts on the right foot.
No, it definitely did. And as I alluded to in the first pitch of the game, you know, sometimes things go the right way. You can dictate things after the first batter or so. And so Simonaris really started off the game. I mean, that just changed, I think, the energy. Maybe some guys had some jitters, you know, just being on the Cape. But Simonaris went out there and just threw an absolute gem for Kelly and the rest of these Firebirds. And that's what he wanted, just start off on the right foot, win a game. Because, again, that's for the Firebirds. This is their only home game practically this week until Saturday. So you have a long stretch of road games. So, you know, the next 4 games or 3 games are on the road. So they wanted to start off on the right foot. Excuse me, actually 4 games because I was right. So 4 games on the road. So you got to win your home games. And that's what some teams, you'll see some teams in the Cape this year. They won't take care of their home games, whether giving up a lead late in the evening. So the Firebirds, this is a win that I think will resonate through the rest of the season and hopefully will help them down the line, especially because you need to beat some of those West teams to build up your record a bit, build up the confidence, because, again, most of June is playing those Western opponents, so helps out with the traffic and all that when you have to travel out to Wareham. But I think you also have to credit the whole bullpen as well. The job from Miller, Benoit, and then Pramel coming in to close it out. I said it was going to be a team effort, and it for sure was. It did not. It was an exciting game to watch if you like watch a pitcher's duel.
In a game that just took 2 hours and 4 minutes, Orleans scores 2 runs on 7 hits. They commit no errors. Bourne, no runs on 4 hits and no errors. The winning pitcher tonight to pick up his first Cape Cod Baseball League victory is Adam Simonaris. Harry Rutkowski drops to 0-1, and Jeff Pramel the save for the Birds, as Scotty Gange is standing by with Adam Simonaris, who threw the first 5 innings of shutout baseball for Orleans. He was efficient out there. Scotty, what did Adam have working tonight?
Well, yeah, you said it. I mean, he was phenomenal. The first 5 innings, shutout work. Adam, first off, how did it feel to get back on the bump for you?
Oh, it was awesome. I enjoyed it.
You look good. You performed well. Was there something, if you could do it with anything, you could be nitpicky you'd like to improve on?
No, I mean, just attack. That's basically it.
Yeah, you know, 54 pitches on 5 innings. I don't think you're very tired right now, but you don't really like to waste much time up there. You work pretty quickly. Is that where did that come from for you?
Just staying in the rhythm. I just like getting the ball and going. So
before the game, I was watching you in your bullpen. You were talking to catcher David Avitia. You guys both go to different schools, and you were commending him for, you know, he was spotting up well and doing all that. And it looked like you guys had good chemistry out on the field too. How was your connection with him today?
It was good. He's a good catcher. I enjoyed throwing to him. So, yeah.
All right, and one more for you. You know, 5 innings. The next 4 relievers come in. They do a good job. They keep it scoreless game to get you the win. How comforting was it for you to rely on the relieving staff, even though they're your new teammates, for them to come out here and play well and secure you that W?
Oh, it was awesome. They threw the ball really well. So just looking forward to how it ends up this year.
5 innings, shutout right here. We got some buddies around here too. Congratulations, well done, guys. Back over to you. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you.
And thank you, Scotty. Well, good job as always. And that was the gem start that they needed. Thomas Inzarello alongside Josh Zamora now. Josh, you come into the Cape League, your first game, your first AB, you hit a home run. What were you expecting going into that first AB?
Yeah, you know, wasn't really trying to do too much. Wasn't really thinking at all. Just trying to get the barrel on the ball.
Well, ended up giving the Firebirds a 2-0 win. Obviously, you're a West Coast guy, first time playing on the East Coast. How does it feel to be on Cape Cod for the summer?
Yeah, you know, it's awesome. Just looking around the area, kind of driving around. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And, you know, I got to give thanks to God first and always.
Obviously, you're with host families here on the Cape. Do you have a roommate, or are you living with somebody else, or like a roommate on the team?
Yeah, I got 4, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. It's me, Rob, AJ, Abbott, and Cole.
Well, I'm sure you're having a lot of fun down there. I know you haven't been on the Cape for long, but I know that you enjoy playing golf and cooking. Hopefully you can get to do some of those things this summer. But one thing I wanted to point out is your favorite sports hero is Dustin Pedroia. You're a West Coast guy. Obviously, I was a Red Sox fan growing up. How did you fall in love with DP?
You know, just kind of growing up watching him play. He's not the biggest guy, but his attitude towards the game and how he goes into each day, it's a new day. And he knows that you just got to put your head down and work, and everything else will come.
I love DP growing up, a guy that always got his jersey dirty, working hard, gritty type of guy. Hopefully he can get back to the Red Sox. But again, the Firebirds pick up a 2-0 win over the Bourne Braves. Josh, thank you for joining me, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, sir.
So just a quick recap of tonight's game. It was Adam Seminaris who started things off. 5 strong innings, 2 hits, 0 runs, 0 earned, no walks, and 2 punch-outs, followed up by Miller, Bedwall, and then Pramel able to achieve the save. Again, you just listened to Josh Zamora. He provided the 2-run home run that lifted the Firebirds into victory.
And what an effort by this Orleans squad, Thomas. I don't think it goes without saying. The wins were a struggle last summer for Orleans, just 14 to show for, and they really made it look easy tonight here at Eldridge Park. They got 2 runs early from that home run by Zamora, but I think the pitching is the real storyline tonight for the Birds. 9 shutout innings. Adam Seminaris, we were told he was going to go 5 or 65 pitches. Didn't even get to that 65 pitch mark. That's how dominant he was over 5 innings. The bullpen was great too. 4 scoreless, only allowed 2 hits. And if you're doing that most games, you're going to win a lot of games here in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Yeah, I would have loved to see Seminaris continue to go on, but I'd love to have him stay here longer for the summer. So totally understandable. But no, you're exactly right. The pitching was the heart and soul of tonight's victory. Obviously, you can't take away from anything else from the offensive attack. We saw some really good ABs, obviously, from Zamora, almost catching another long ball in this game. But I really like the VT's approach to the plate tonight. A guy that, you know, not going to show up in a really stat sheet as much. 2 walks. He went 0 for 1 with 2 walks. But we mentioned I believe his second AB where he flew out, you know, almost caught the ball in the barrel, just didn't get enough of it out to the warning track. But that's one other guy I want to point out. But also Rob Emery picking up 2 singles, 2 for 3 in his Orleans debut. Only had 1 AB last year for Harwich when he was on the Cape. But great to see Emery playing first. Hopefully we'll have to see how the catching the rotation will transition throughout the rest of this season. Again, having A.J. Lewis playing second, him able to steal a bag as well. So exciting things going on for Orleans, as we'll have to see how they will fare as their next 4 games will be on the road. Again, tomorrow it'll be in YD, and then Wednesday will be in Brewster, and then at Wareham. Next 3 games on the road before they're back here on Saturday, home against Brewster. As we'll take a look at the scoreboard for the final time tonight. So bottom of the 9th inning, Chatham and Highness tied up at 4 as Chatham clawed back into that one. As it is final in Falmouth. They pick up their first win of the season, defeat Harwich 7-2. In the bottom of the 8th, Wareham still holding a lead there. Now it's 3-1 in Wareham. Of course, here in Orleans, final score 2-0. Firebirds victory over the Bourne Braves. Still that Windy Red Sox and Katuitt game. Not sure what the score is on that one, but if things work out so far, if Windy lost and if Chatham loses, Orleans will be first in the East Division after one day. So for my broadcasting partner, Josh White, our producer, Bryce Johnson, and Scotty Gange, down on the sidelines, we say so long from Eldridge Park. Again, Firebirds win this one by a final score of 2-0.